All right.
It
So
is a hefty die.
Oh my goodness.
That's a big
Oh my god.
that's a big
Is
one.
it like actual?
Yeah.
Okay. So on that note,
You
we'll
find
get started.
fun stuff at conventions.
There you go. Last we left off, this is we're starting with session. Starting with session 34 here. We're picking up on the late end, the very late end, of the 14th turning of Third Shard. Last we left off, the party had completed the first half of their journey into the Illuma Desert, while waiting for the Athermer diplomat to arrive back in Landerhall. Recovering from their bloody battle with Arturius, the party realized that the infliction he and his minions were able to spread seemed to combine both curse and disease magic alike. They were successful in cleansing it, but it seemed more difficult and onerous than what they first might have expected. In the wake of their fight, and his warning that he would see them at the wreck, the party continued their trek rather warily. Until, of course, they found a brief detour of interest. A series of goblins and kobolds cooperating with and wafting smoke around the opposite side of a large sand dune here in the Illuma Desert. Chanting ensued as they from the various creatures, and they seemed to be setting off some sort of detonation that partially collapsed the dune and killed one of their own kind. Hurrying along to discover what the heck they were up to, the party snuck up and was treated to a rather strange sight. Goblins and kobolds dancing around, strapped with kegs and canisters of unusual make, while also appearing to trap, smoke out, and contain a nest of Fulminaris beetles to be contained in jars and cages. Interrupting them with a tactical direct assault, Slate pushed one of the individuals into the nest of beetles, detonating some sort of gas canister on the creature's body, and triggering a multitude of chain reaction explosions from all the other creatures and beetles in one shot. Ash, acrid gas fumes, and soot was all that remained of the various creatures, but whatever they were doing was indeed thoroughly thwarted. Recovering a bit and moving to their goal, the party arrived at the cusp of the giant koi ship crash site, now here in the bowl of a ring of dunes. There they could admire both the enormous koi in its sad and rotting glory, but also could spy on the various four major components of the ship. The back end of it, the front end, and the middle, which cracked in half, one part of it tipping and facing towards the sky. Two masts both collapsed, one of which partially overhangs the Ichika flying gas bladders that were mentioned by Kendo and Chikuna, sheltering them partially from the elements. I'll remove that just so it's easier for everyone to see, and for the camera's sake. Here, the party spied the magnitude of their challenge. What they learned is the Immortal Dynasty encampment led, and that's what this is here, led by what they have found out was a blood sculptor and inquisitor seeking thieves, stowaways, and criminals from their continent of Kosakara. These forces would be bad enough, but are clearly joined by the Red Beaks, who seem to have a connection with Arturius and include the skullbird creatures that they battled before. That include this sort of region. In addition, they appear to be extracting gas from the bladders just north of the Dynasty encampment. As they surveyed the scene, the party was met with an incoming rolling galvadillo skiff that belongs to the Hestapha tribe. So this is the giant armored armadillos that sort of are riding along with a sort of static charge as they roll forward. It's about the size of a horse, and it's pulling like a chariot-like skiff or sand sled. The party met the Hestapha tribe and tried to have some brief introductions with their weird bird-like language and accent in common, but were introduced to Jiranya, the tribe leader, a half-orc woman, as well as Deskar, Shiln, and Kasath, all of whom wear feathers on their clothes, in their hair, and even in their skin. The Hestaphas explained that the Red Beaks dominate much of their native town of Featherton to the southwest, and are led by Arturius and Gretchen Bloodfeather working together. They seem to be using some sort of blood magic and associated fear of the locally famous Dreadfeather Falls. They struck a tenuous alliance together with the Dynasty to scavenge on the body, gas, and treasure of the koi wreck in exchange to protect it so the Dynasty can search it. So basically, Red Beaks / Arturius working with Dynasty, and that's who's dominating the koi wreck. The Hestaphas asked the party to broker a truce with the other local observers, the Stormscale Dragonshard of Blue Dragonborn, offering to split the loot with the wood and giving the party first pick of the treasure in exchange for the Beewildered to aid against the Red Beaks and helping them go on to push out against their presence in Featherton. Traditionally, the Blue Dragonborn Stormscale Shard has violently conflicted with Featherton, seeing all of the Illuma Desert as their ancestral homeland belonging to them, including all of that which is within it, including the Koi ship. However, the team agreed and met with the suspicious Stormscales, led by half-dragon Aerosmira Twinscale. The party does indeed convince them to set aside their differences with the Hestapha tribe to avoid greater losses and have a chance of overcoming the combined forces here at the wreck. The disposition of how much treasure everyone gets in the aftermath is somewhat up for debate after the smoke clears. The Stormscales are waiting to strike until the following turning, for they're expecting reinforcements to arrive a few hours after the turnover. They ask the party to come up with a strategy to deal with the threat. Accordingly, the party retreated to their wagon to discuss, but were met with the violent-seeming Kasath, who then took off their face and revealed themselves to be a Kapaji folding shapeshifter from Kosakara named Haranja of Sharp White. Haranja explained that she was freed from a Dynasty prison fort and killed and took Kasath's place in order to survive after the crash. She went on to say that if they wished to avoid getting tangled up in a small battle or war, that they could go with her to focus on assassinating the two Dynasty leaders, Ipako Uradu, the Blood Sculptor, and the Dynasty Inquisitor Kurdai Han. There, she suggested picking over the treasure and leaving the fighting to happen for everyone else. In exchange for her help, she wishes a book of her people around the origami of the Folding Forests. With much to think about, the party retreated into their wagon and debated their plan, and decided to go along with a mixture of assassination and attack to try to appease all sides. They plan to tell the Stormscales and the Hestaphas to approach and pincer the enemy from the south and the north, respectively. So Stormscales coming up from the far end where Pierce and Brandon are on, and the Hestapha tribe coming up from the north, coming down from the north, on the side here that I am at by the DM screen. They also plan to lure out enemies and buy time for this pincer attack, setting fire to the Dynasty's tents from the center of the Koi wreckage themselves, with a quick escape option should they need it by bringing their wagon closer. Then to line up a shot with the two Dynasty leaders with Haranja's help. Now, awaiting these reinforcements, the party readies for their largest scale conflict yet and must decide how far they're willing to go to make good on their word, to seek out the promised treasure, and to follow up on aiding Kendo and Chikuna in their far from simple request. So, as we return to the table in real time, this is it's about 11 p.m., so only an hour away from proper turnover. You guys have already done a long rest, and had done one before. The reinforcements should arrive a couple hours after turnover, so something like 2, 3, that kind of situation. So, with that, what is everyone doing here? You guys are still in the wagon, and Haranja is still outside. I kind of brushed past the strategy session and have presumed that you're communicating that to the others, and is there anything else that you guys wanted to do?
Tennille relates his tale by explaining the time he robbed a Scoven house and used Nika as a distraction after she ate a lot of candy and was puking in the street, and that she was on one side of the house and another person was on the back side of the house, and he went in through the center. It was a very great explanation.
I had repressed that memory.
When I was watching the recording, I think Tennille tried to take a long rest but got interrupted earlier, so he's still down all of his spells.
And we are
Right.
in the same turning still as when we were fighting Arcturus. So it's the
That's
same
correct.
day. Okay.
Yep. It's just the very end of that same turn.
A long day.
Long one, yep. I believe everyone got a long rest in.
Okay.
from what
Was
I
that like the
understood.
last thing we did?
I seem to recall that you guys did a long rest from like 2 to 10.
Yeah, and well then they stopped and did the Beatles. So we did a long rest after Arcturus, and then Tennille changed out spells, woke up, and cured those two. And then we traveled. The Beetle Pit happened. And then on the intervening time, Tennille's going to try to take a long rest while they were still awake, but then we got to the koi fish before that happened, I think.
Okay,
So,
I mean, I'll say that, how is everyone else looking as far as hit points and damage and stuff goes?
good.
So that's perfect.
Okay, do people recover as if they had a long rest?
I have short rest dice
Yeah.
We short rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I had my facts mixed up and stuff. Tennille, I will say,
going to. But
in the mixture, I would say you probably have had enough time to long rest, and you
Okay.
can just take that benefit.
Okay.
I'm not going to be super uptight about,
Okay. It
The
was more for
exact
like
order
spell
and
slots
stuff.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
and you're going to want them.
So are we all just gonna start as if we had more rolls?
Well, what are you looking at? What are you missing?
I didn't erase my hit dice tallies.
I'm
How
also
many?
still exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
Those of
that-
you who are exhausted because you still have the flicker fever from the caravan, and
But
are
also-
still working on getting out
Yeah.
from the event.
But also, I assume we're not gonna engage in fighting with anyone until those extra reinforcements come back, right? So we can
You have 2
theoretically
hours.
rest.
You have 2 hours until that happens,
Oh.
or 3 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, we didn't lose that much spell energy in that combat other than our healer.
Speaking of spell energy, and you're all gonna laugh at me. I know you're going to laugh at me, and it's fine. It's fine. I've made peace with this. But I
Great
think
start.
if I can if anyone has any incense or something that's kind of an offering, worth about 25. There's I won't say it's 25 gold, but something that's like an offering. I think I can call some spirits to help us. Kind of like your sheep friend, but these can actually attack things. And that could be helpful.
I'm gonna dig in my pockets and just like hand over a wad of coins in your hand.
I'll dig in my pockets and hand over my jar of butter.
yes, the jar
But
of
you
pocket
notice the
butter.
coins feel a little bit different than normal coins.
Oh yeah.
Insight check.
Go ahead and roll.
Nat 20 for 27.
Are these the mimic coins?
They're the fake jester coins.
Oh, these are the fake gesture coins. Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
they
know
have like
if
a
these-
clown's face on the stamping.
I don't know if this is the kind of spirit I want to attract, but thanks, Blue.
Yeah, clowns of butter. That's gonna call a weird spirit from the
I
beyond.
mean,
It'll
the
just be
butter
good
might
as well.
help.
They might be
Um,
hungry.
Well,
Butter.
are you gonna pay me back?
I'll pay you back, but like anyone have any wine, like anything that you would like use like in a
And that-
ritual offering.
Annette pulls out like a full bag of incense, 20 gold worth. And incense and I think charcoal, but it's fancy spell chalk. It's only 20 gold worth, but I think Grandpa's butter.
I think
Fancy
this.
butter. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this might work. Anyone have any wine? Actually, just like a cup of wine that could be helpful. Do you have any wine, Blue? I feel like you bought some wine. Did you buy wine the night in the town and we never drank it?
I don't think I bought wine.
Because the night in Linderhall when we had the visions and the riddles and we were all very stressed and you were like, we're gonna talk about this, and it was like, no, we're not.
Oh, yeah. I think I bought wine. I think you guys might have drunk the wine
Oh.
and then not talked.
No, maybe we did. I think we did. Yeah, we did.
Probably some ethanol in the lab. If they're really desperate, I wouldn't recommend it.
It's fine.
What?
I'll actually use a ration. I'll pull out some meat and the butter.
Make
and,
sure to butter it.
Yes, I'll make a nice little buttered roll and a sandwich, some buttered hardtack and dried jerky, and make an offering.
You're paying me
What
back.
are you summoning again?
We'll find out.
See what comes.
Well, is there something in Cantifer that could?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna look and see if there's anything I might be able to use, but I mean, I think between the butter and the ration and some incense, I think I might be able to make this work.
Seems very nice to me.
You're paying me back for the incense.
I will buy you more incense. I think this will help.
Yeah, because then I can't resummon him, and Mr. Mittens comes out and he starts dancing on his hind legs.
Here, and I'll actually just go ahead and pull out 2 platinum and hand it to you.
Oh, perfect.
What was it? It was in player meetings. That's fine. I'm gonna do
Platinum, double the money.
No, I am one.
No, I
Yes,
have
I know. Heck yeah.
Okay.
I have 25 gold to my name, including the platinum. Maybe
I have 9 gold.
or I might have 26 gold and 1 silver.
I'm reading this correctly? 24?
Night on the town.
Yesterday.
Night on the town.
How would Neil feel about a night on the town?
Okay.
I wanted
So
to make a joke about Butterloo, but it's just not happening.
I appreciate that.
That's not happening indeed.
The friction's all wrong.
Welcome to the table.
It
So you're
doesn't.
gonna do your channel divinity style?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So you're taking 10 minutes to
Yeah. I'm
do
gonna
that.
go outside. I'm gonna make a little sandwich with the rations that I have and the butter, and leave the little dish of butter what's left aside, and burn some incense and meditate and see what happens.
Okay, make a religion check.
Oh god, I'm not proficient in religion. This is gonna be terrible.
You got it, you got it.
This is 12,
12. Okay.
so I can at least do something.
Yeah, you can do something. So for a second, you're you're in this electric desert, so your hairs on your arms and back of your neck and stuff are already gonna be more often standing up anyway. But there's sort of a shifting in the winds abruptly after a moment, and you see the sand just sort of swirl around the sandwich, and it begins to sort of you just see like it's being devoured from some sort of invisible force, and you see a little hunched creature of some description, and it looks kind of along the lines of like most of what you see. It kind of seems to be wearing an animal mask, but it seems similar to the little rain dancer you guys saw on the way down, but you do notice it's kind of dripping a little bit, and little grease spots are just falling on the sand and darkening it a little bit.
That's what you get when you summon something with butter.
And you just you do succeed. You get summon beast, the type that you get to summon beast.
Perfect.
But yeah, it's it might be a butter beast.
Butter boy.
A butterball turkey.
And so you see, for the purposes of this, it sort of fades out again, but you just feel a presence, and you're just I need to wash my hands a little bit as the comfort that brings to you in some way because you've made this sort of connection. So you get the sense that you're accompanied by a presence that is in the region. It feels like the storms and the wind in this area. It feels whimsical and volatile.
Okay.
Is kind of the nature of the area that you feel, and the spirits would act accordingly. There's definitely a menace to it that you weren't expecting, but that might be reflected by all of these different conflicting tension energies and the stuff that the Kaljinvir were referenced in having. Clearly their existence has a big impact on the environment, and so it stands to reason that it's possible it might affect the spiritual side of things as well.
Okay.
So that is what you're gaining with that. As far as the rest of your guys' time goes, is there anything you guys want to spend the next couple hours doing as you're preparing? Any scouting you want to do or anything like that, or do you not want to risk that? What are you guys thinking?
Question for all of you. So when I act as the distraction and set out a lightning bolt, should I aim? I don't want to aim it at any humans because I already got caught doing that once, and now they're gonna be really picky. But should I aim it up towards vultures, or should I try to set tents on fire?
Do you get in trouble for vultures?
Yeah, vultures aren't humanoids.
I feel like hitting the vultures can benefit us because then you can knock people out of the air.
Yes. Yeah, you can kill people with other means, but not with magic. I don't know.
Do you need you have a dagger. You can just stab them. It's fine.
Oh, I can kill people with lower level magic. So
Oh, okay.
Kind of.
kind of.
I mean, killing people with magic is generally frowned upon outright by the Prismere.
But
Extenuating circumstances can be argued for, but the the discussion that you had with the Red Braid was more around like wholesale killing via magic on a regular basis, even with a firebolt, would be
Yeah.
pretty frowned upon, but is also, as a member, like the idea is like uphold our laws as a member now, kind of situation. So you can decide how much you want to navigate that.
And
It also seemed more implied about like, especially in the midst of civilization, you know, where other people are seeing wizards just like, you know.
and that gives none of this context to the group.
Yeah, that's fine. But just so you're aware, so you
Yeah.
have a thing to think about in the back of your head and a better framing device for it. Otherwise, anything else you guys are doing?
I'm gonna kind of just rest in my room for a little bit and kind of take a short rest to regain that channel divinity I just used.
Sure, that's fine. Otherwise, we pick up here, and you do spot on the horizon, coming sort of more from the south side on your guys' edge, so it'd be like south, southwest. You see the upcoming, southeast. You guys do see the upcoming additional cracklehorn lizards moving in their sort of like rolling lizard flappy gait that they have. They're big lizards, you know, like low to the ground, but like crocodile sized. And they're kind of like horned devils, and they have a particularly prominent like nasal horn that is charged with some of the electrical static that they seem to be able to gather. On their backs appear to be a mixture of 4 individuals. Many of them appear to be, 3 of them immediately like sort of focus more on reuniting with the remaining other troops who are also on the other Stormscales who are also on their lizards. So with Erismira and her 2 guards. It appears like there are 2 more guards who are joining, and also an individual who seems to be given some sort of prominence and deference. Hard to say. You guys are looking at it from afar, but this individual looks a little unusual or different to all the other Dragonborn, and different to Erismira as well. A 4th individual groups with this group and interfaces with them, but after a short discussion, dismounts and begins walking your way. Heading towards your caravan, not very hard to see. And Haranja, in Kasath's form, again, sort of stands up and takes note, but is on the outside of your guys' caravan. And the individual that is approaching appears to be not a blue dragonborn, but something else. So, Pierce, do you want to give us a description of your character?
You notice this Dragonborn seems a little smaller than the other ones. Probably kind of on the low end of a Dragonborn, kind of unusual. But he's silver, and he just kind of is looking around, eyeing up everything. Can I see the?
All right, one sec. Pause and continue. So, looking around, little shorter, silver dragonborn. What are you wearing?
He's decked in chainmail, kind of from head to toe, but his helmet's off, and he's kind of sizing up your group. And can he see the wagon?
He's just seeing the wagon. In fact, the whole group, aside from this Kasath individual, who I'll describe to you in a second, all of them retreated into the wagon.
Okay.
Tennille would have gone out, but would have gone back in probably by the time that you're approaching. So you just see a very outsized, unusually large wagon.
Can
so
I make some kind of check to see what my character knows about it?
Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. But
Okay.
at the moment, you're kind of interrupted a little bit as you're examining it.
Okay.
Because a pale white human looking man stands up and begins to sort of make some like clicking noises, like kind of bird-like a little bit, and then says, "Oh, you are not from Featherton, are you?
No, I'm not.
And not of blue description either. Outsider? Friend?
A friend with the folks behind me.
I see. Not friendly with me and my people, but treaty was struck with folk inside. What are you here for?
I am here to introduce myself. I am representing the Blue Dragons. The Blue Dragon Shard.
Very well. And individual sort of turns and sort of raps like on the wagon. We have visitor.
Good visitor or get our knives out visitor?
Because there's a thunderous roar as we all come running down the stairs.
Individual Kasaf turns and says, sort of calls, it seems friendly-ish, maybe?
That seems like a good fit for us.
So you guys exit the caravan, or
Yeah.
anyone staying behind?
I think pile out, but maybe stand in front of the doors.
Okay. While they're piling out, why don't we take this opportunity to re-describe everybody's characters just right quick, like in 2 sentences kind of situation. So, Flo, why don't you start?
Yeah, so Flo is blue-skinned and has blue hair and wears lots of blue. She, yeah, blue. She is actually a water genasi. Like, if you look at her, you can figure that out. She is still clinging on to her piratey clothing, but it's kind of gotten modeled up now with like random jester, like studded leather and like clothes she bought in Landerhall to try and blend in, even though she's clearly not blending it at all.
The studs are like little smiling faces on the leather, like it's like
Yeah.
little smiling theater masks.
So she is definitely, a character in her clothing.
You don't have to go super
I guess
into detail,
that's
whatever's
that's
easiest
kind of
for you.
the gist.
Next comes Anetka.
Hello. Anetka, you'll notice she is a half-orc, but if you've seen half-orcs before, you'll notice she is kind of shorter and skinnier than most of them are. She has black hair that she wears in little kind of loopy braids, and you notice she is wearing way too much knitwear for a desert, but she is clinging on to that anyway, despite the obvious sweat marks.
All right, Slate.
Okay, so Slate, he's 8 feet tall, a Goliath. He has some nice tousled blonde hair.
Not bald. He is not bald.
Spooky white eyes, like the iris is white. What's the other thing? He's a walking armory. He's got
Covered in
40
daggers.
daggers. He's got all sorts of different weapons. Looks like multiple sets of like camping gear. He's carrying a lot.
Thanks, Dusty.
So Renastus is also big. He is a Fearbold, old man Fearbold, white hair, white mustache, white beard. He's dressed very dapper. He's got a little ascot and a waistcoat, although it's probably too hot for him now with that situation. He's got like a backpack that carries a plant around everywhere with him. Awkward and over encumbered. Got vials, got pockets everywhere.
It's a bulging waistcoat.
Yeah.
Continue.
And then you see somebody who looks like a drow, but you might guess mixed heritage because he's a little bit lighter than any other drow you've seen, a little bit less gray, wearing hide armor that has a big patch right in the chest and some weird stains from the use of and then underneath the hide armor, you can kind of see the clothes are like a little patch because he's not wearing his fancy duds. Too much fighting. Kind of patched, a little worn, about 50 years out of style. He's got a pair of purple lens, like goggles or glasses that are kind of up on his head right now. And he's got short white hair. And you're just like, wow, he just looks really emo. Like,
He has a scar on his face, doesn't he?
He has a scar on his chin, yeah. He's got a scar on his chin. It's probably not easy to see from your distance. It's a pretty small one. And then if you got closer, he hasn't been wearing his gloves, you'll notice there are spirals tattooed right here in each hand, and then they kind of connect to little spirals at the base of each knuckle.
Yeah, I should make a point about the weather, by the way. This is the coolest you guys have been so far. Remember, southern, more south is more cool. So this is a
Fair.
desert by lack of rainfall, not necessarily by excess of heat. And then also for your character model, did we want to use? Is this okay for you?
Yeah, so
Okay. So we'll include you. This will be for camera. His character for now until we secure another one. But as far as things go, yeah, you walk up and Kasath is just sort of like, shall I dispatch him?
Let's talk and then maybe.
Affirmative.
Can I do that check for the wagon?
That'd be an Arcana check.
Arcana check.
Kinda.
That's a D20, right? And
Yep,
then
all
I
checks are
add-
d20s. There you go.
10.
10. Looks like a big wagon to you.
Looks like a big wagon to me.
You don't see a lot of wagons where you're from. Terrain wouldn't really allow for this setup
Yeah.
as easily. So.
Okay. All right. So I feel like I should describe a little bit more of my character now. I'm thinking about kind of the context of you guys, but
Sure.
so my character's got a spear and a halberd kind of crossed over his back, and he's got a very large backpack with just a bunch of crap hanging out of it. Like there's a miner's pick and like a lantern hanging off of it, and just a bunch of like little bits of paper just kind of hanging out of it. And he as he comes over and starts eyeing you all up, he picks it up and just kind of like drops it on the ground. It's just very, yeah, it's very and he kind of eyes you all up and says, "Are you all who are organizing this event?"
For better or for worse.
Organizing is a very interesting word to use.
Well, very good. My name is Navarax. I am of the what was it, Frosthelm? Of the Frosthelm Shard, come from Skefir. I'm here with the Stormscales because I spend a lot of time in ruins and looking to get some information from them. So I'm here because I'd like to make sure that the help that they've told me you're providing goes through. Because if we're successful here, I get a fair bit of information for a little quest that I'm on.
You're the babysitter.
I wouldn't call it that.
It's probably smart for them to send a babysitter.
Fran!
Is it because I'm small? 6 foot.
And I'm just the 5 foot outdoor is just like,
And-
yes!
And in the back you have Slate, who's 8 foot, and Rastas, who's 7 foot, just being like, yeah.
Is that a height joke?
She's really sensitive about her.
I am not! I heard that!
Inside check.
I consider that beneath me, but I'll try and rise above it.
Yes, that's it.
Stop it. You said Neverax?
Navarax.
Navarax.
How do you spell it?
Navirax.
Okay.
All right. And would he be wearing anything around his neck? Or is that hidden at the moment?
Kind of in addition to his armor, you kind of notice that there seems to be just kind of like symbols kind of etched into sections of the armor, kind of on his gauntlets and kind of on the chest. And around his neck, you see a little triangular pendant, and it's colorless, but has 3 different kind of reliefs of dragons on it.
Cool.
Would I recognize any of the symbols or like any of the language around?
Go ahead and make a. I'm gonna say this is either history or religion.
History! That's a... 3 plus 8 is...
11?
11, that's an 11.
You at least recognize. It seems to have some kind of pseudo-religious or order related markings from your mind. What stands out to you most is that it's kind of hard to see because you're not looking like you're not holding it to your face, right, and inspecting it, and it's colorless and more or less. One of the things you do notice is it seems like at least one of the one of the corners of the triangle hosts a multi-headed dragon, which is what catches your attention in the particulars of this like brief glance. But otherwise, you don't recognize its significance. You don't recognize anything further.
Because kind of looking at you like someone might look at a thing they're dissecting.
Pronounces will help us.
May I help you, small one?
I'm just trying to figure out kind of your deal with all the symbols.
Just something I picked up in a room.
Do you know what they mean? And I'm not saying you're ignorant and you don't know. We've come across a lot of people who have symbols on them that they have no idea what they mean.
Well, a lot of my background, I'm an archaeologist. I spend a lot of time looking for things that are perhaps lost to time. And one of my interests is in the old Dragorian Empire. Why did it fall apart? What happened? What created the Dragon Charms? There's not a lot even I know coming from the south. But this particular item that I found a handful of years ago seemed to have some kind of special value. It thrummed with a bit of magic when I picked it up. And so I've carried it along, and I feel like it's been something of a good charm. But I feel that the Stormscales here know a little something about some of what is on this. So I'd like to see what they know.
So you're a scientist putting yourself in danger to gain bits of esoteric knowledge?
I wouldn't say I'm putting myself in danger, more that Skefmir is dangerous. And if you don't learn to use a weapon there when you're young, you don't make it to be older.
I've heard that about Skefmir. I think our babysitter's gonna fit right in.
Archaeologist, you said. Like, scoots up like kind of uncomfortably close. So, you like treasure?
Just say yes. Just say yes.
Yes, miss.
Right on. She'll pat you on the back and be like, we're friends. And then she'll just like walk away.
Did we never introduced ourselves, did we?
No, we were
We
not.
just asked deeply personal questions. We got,
Yeah, that was a little much there, I'll
got
be
close
honest.
to personal spaces without even introducing ourselves. Well, I'm Renostus.
Tennille.
Hello.
Anetka.
Name's Slate, nice to meet you.
And I hope that the twin scale forces are going to give you valuable information for getting yourself involved with this, because it seems like a bit of a shit show.
The Stormscales just does.
Stormscale,
like,
sorry.
Twin Scale is the name of the leader.
Yeah, twin
Or-
scale forces.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
But yes, she's the leader of them. Alrighty. The individual who was sort of confrontational with you at first says, "I am Kazath of the Hestapha tribe." Kind of eyes darting a little bit back and forth.
Tennille rolls his eyes.
I am also babysitter of these for other side.
maybe we should say like emissary or like.
Babysitter's right. You know
Babysitter.
what it is.
You use the word. I accepted.
There's no other word for it.
Well,
To be honest.
Perhaps we should tell you about our plan.
Very good.
Tell them about our plan.
Flawless.
Alright, so have you ever robbed anybody?
That's a no.
That's
Never mind. Don't tell
generally
me.
Anyway, I led a very different life before, and so there was one time we were hey, anything you take from any of you have a problem stealing from the Scovens, which I don't think any of you do, right?
No,
Right. No, okay. Right.
You
So
recall I was the one helping you.
Anyway, so we needed to get into this house, right? And so we had my friends Alis and Aelith. They we decided that one of them would go to the front and one of them would go to the back, and I would go through a window. And as luck would have it, that one had gotten into the candy stash that morning and was just puking her guts out. It was like rainbow colored. It was just it was amazing actually. And so Ayla
Prismear in projectile vomit form.
Oh my god.
Ayla stuck her out front, and she was a distraction, and it worked beautifully. And I was able to sneak in and get the goods and get out, no problem. So we're gonna do that.
You
And so-
understand.
So while you're gesturing, Navarax just kind of like looks at you and then looks at Anitka and then kind of like turns around and then turns back around and is like,
Yep, you're stuck with
"Are
them now.
you sure you're the group that they told me to come talk to?"
I've been told we're brilliant in esoteric ways. I want to be clear because I don't think Tennille. This plan involves no vomit.
No vomit. So
Yes.
one side of our
Yes.
forces is going to go on this side, and the other part of our forces is going to go on this side, and we're going to cause a distraction, drive everyone out of the camp. You're the blue
Stormscales.
Stormscales, and the Hestapha tribe are going to round them up and take care of them while we sneak in and take care of some other business, and then sneak in and out. 20-minute adventure.
We are killing their leaders.
That.
I
Yeah.
should mention, and he like shakes himself a little bit. I don't sneak anywhere.
I can help you with that. Oh, but first, have you drowned any bees recently? Have you disturbed any local spirits? Upset anybody?
There was a ruin a couple weeks ago where I thought I heard things moving, but
But
that might have been my imagination.
It wasn't in like the last mile.
No.
Okay, I think we'll probably find it.
Okay.
You can still with us.
Okay.
I mean, if you had drowned bees, you will be forgiven. Just it might not be the best time to sneak.
But never forgotten.
Fiddling with her gun just to like not think
Oh,
about
one detail about Slate, he is currently wearing a shawl that's in bee colors with bee wings knitted on it.
Yes.
And also, the fact that Flo is like messing with what looks like a firearm would be of note to you. You've never seen a weapon like this.
Oh, so I couldn't even like roll for that, I guess.
No, probably not. Oh, you can make a roll for a general insight check, I would say, probably.
Okay.
If you want to try and kind of intuit the nature of this.
17.
Clearly a weapon.
Nice.
It seems to you the most analogous thing would be like a crossbow, but no bowstring, no crossbeam part of it. So you're not really sure what it is and stuff. It seems kind of small and compact, but it seems like it's got kind of a rotating barrel at the back end of it. So you're not really sure what to make of it, but
Okay.
it's intriguing.
Okay.
You definitely notice that there are two barrels, a sub one below the first, and you also notice that it seems like there's a little bit of like kind of wafty light on the interior of the second one, and some runes inscribed along the barrel there.
Okay.
That second one. So.
Okay. So, after Tennille finishes explaining the plan, Navarax is just kind of like his eyes are kind of like darting just off to the side and like trying to stay attention to Tennille, but it keeps looking at Flo, and it's like, Mr. Tennille, so with your plan, excuse me, miss, what is that in your hand?
Is it what?
And he like gets really close, and it's just like, it's very shiny.
She's gonna like whip it out, but like put the like barrel right against your chest, like. You wanna see?
It's like,
Blue. It's okay. We don't need to shoot him just yet.
it's like, but it's not. It looks like it throws something somewhere, but it's not a bow.
Yeah, you
What
see
is that?
this little thingy right here. If you pull it, you pull
He's
it,
like
the
bracing
trigger.
himself a little bit.
Kasath draws his sword. Is now the time?
No, just a little show and tell. It goes boom.
Well, there's really quite a bit more to it than that. Maybe now is not the time.
Yeah.
You'll see her use it during our plan.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll see it used. Yes.
What do you think of the plan?
Again, no vomit.
No
Oh, the distraction's gonna be fire.
Fire.
Yeah,
You know.
fire and lightning.
and death,
And probably death. I hope to take out a vulture too.
but not magically killing any humans.
Not humans. Just
Does
the Prismia doesn't care about
kill
birds.
them mount as in midair with magic? Does that count as killing them if they fall to their death?
It might be a technicality, but we don't need to get into that.
Ah, right, sorry.
What do you think?
Neverax kind of like tries to pull himself away from Flo. It's like, I don't have any issues. I've certainly heard of worse plans and probably have made a couple terrible ones myself. But as I said, as long as you're sneaking around, if you have a way to sneak me over, otherwise I'll. And he just kind of taps his two-handers.
And in response, Vernasis will like jiggle and all of the like glass bottles. I totally understand.
As long as you can sneak me over, then I can be of some service.
What do you guys think?
I mean, it looks. I don't know. Are you any good with those weapons?
He brought a pickaxe, a miner's axe, in case we're gonna go into a cave or something.
Grandpa,
Just
don't disparage the new folk.
I'm impressed. Come for every occasion. He'll like pat his own backpack that's like overstuffed.
If you need any extra weapons, Slate has a few daggers.
Hey, those are my daggers.
You have 40.
And I intend to keep them, yeah.
When are you going to use them all?
Any opportunity I can, really.
Well, so when are we going to start this this distraction?
Oh, if I may. And he kind of like kicks his backpack a little bit. I'm carrying a lot right now. Do you mind if I leave some of it with your very large wagon?
Yeah.
It's a bomb.
Grandpa!
Is it a bomb?
I am not skilled at explosives.
Could we look at the stuff you're leaving in our wagon before you leave it in our wagon?
That seems reasonable.
Okay. And Anetka actually, you'll see her, she pulls a drop spindle out and starts kind of walking in a circle, spinning yarn for about 10 minutes until cast Detect Magic to kind of see what, towards any of the stuff you're leaving.
I don't believe anything rings as magical within his gear, although the pendant around his neck, the triangular one, rings as magical.
Okay.
Old magic. Old magic, it seems. But otherwise, nothing untoward that you seem or immediately detect, especially from an arcane presence. As you're just sort of like shifting your perceptions, you notice Kazath has seemingly 4 or 5 objects beneath their clothes that seem to be magical of some kind. They all seem to be carrying the same kind of conjuration, transmutation type magic to them. Speaking of which, Kazath kind of just sort of says, I believe they are waiting all on you to begin.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
signal, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm the signal.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Before we head over, do I get the feeling what he's told that he's being honest in what he said to us?
Make an insight check.
It's not as good as the last one. 14.
14. Yeah, he seems reasonably on the up and up. He's a stranger, kind of hard to read, but clearly interested in old things, and might also have, maybe from your point of view, a either conflicting or tethered interface with the Stormscales. If you guys just made a plan to like take stuff and bounce, but you're not entirely sure.
Okay.
Hard to get a read, but seems honest enough.
Okay.
Kasath sort of says to, let's see, it would probably be to Slate, I will ride with you, and then goes behind the caravan, and about a minute later, you see a little paper moth just land on your shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
That's neat.
And it's just sort of like,
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of cute.
Anetka sees the moth and see her. Get that thing away from me.
Flo's mischievously eyeing her water bottle. Her water skin.
okay.
To drown some more bugs.
Hey, Flo, I know that look. I know that look. No. No.
All right. So, are we engaging? What's the team gonna do?
Do we sneaky sneak up to a vantage point, then
And just to clarify, should I or should I not light things on fire?
Do light it up, Grandpa.
Okay.
Yeah, light it up.
So, you guys see the pathways before you. Which pathway would you like to take? And also, are we splitting up? Who's going where? And what spells are being prepped? Right now, I assume you're going in the wagon. Or you can leave it where it is. But the plan initially was to bring it closer.
Yeah, I think the plan was we're gonna bring it closer and then arrange people. So you two and you, we're gonna stay at the wagon and guard it because we want to leave the wagon alone. And then the three of us, I was gonna cast Passive Luxury so we could sneak in.
Yeah. I was thinking I could get a higher vantage near the wagon.
You can
So like
always
be
see on
close
top
by.
of it too.
That's what
So I think that was the
I
goal. We're gonna move the wagon closer, and then maybe I'll cast Pass Without a Trace on the three of us, and we'll sit there, and then you two do what you do, and then when people are running, we will make our dive. If that makes sense to everybody.
Okay. So which sort of pathway are we gonna
Okay.
look at? It might be easier if everyone
I'll
stands
do
up
that. I'm
at this
anxious.
stage.
Standing time.
That way everyone gets a chance to actually see what's going on in the battlefield here. I'm gonna do some pinch zooming here. Just to
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are approaching from the side that Megan here and Sarah are on. So this is sort of the avenue that you guys can see. So what are you looking at? Obviously, you can't see super much into the interior of these until you get a lot closer to them. But you can tell that they're at least exposed to the elements.
Alright, and these were the Vulture Riders? Or were these
Correct.
Okay. Alright, do you want to do Vulture Riders or Dynasty folks?
well,
Wasn't the plan to like sit for a sec and see if any major players come out and then
Yes.
we target those?
Yes. So it's more like which
So
side do
maybe
you want to
let's-
go down
Yeah,
first?
that's true.
I would say, so these are tents, right?
That's correct.
Well, I'd like to set those tents on fire.
Maybe
So
that's
maybe
okay.
bring the caravan
yeah,
in here.
and then
That column, by the way, is a bit of the broken main mast, just to give you some sense of like how
Okay.
big it was.
I was gonna hide behind that.
Mhm.
Hide behind that.
yeah, and then if we go there. If we're about here, would I have line of sight on the vultures?
It depends on how far they're flying up and stuff like that. At the moment, when you guys saw them, they were actually grounded. And it looked like there were some figures bustling about them. Remember, you were seeing this from about 150, 200, 300 feet away from a sort of higher vantage points. They kind of just were moving around.
I'm thinking if you set tents on fire and I send a lightning bolt towards the vultures, that kind of gets both of the sides angry and confused. If we can get to a vantage point where I would be a distance away,
100 feet if you're looking for lightning bolt.
100 feet away if I'm looking for lightning bolt.
Let's do that. 100 feet would be enough for me.
Okay, so you're going to come down this direction by the mast here and get close enough to do the tents and then try for these guys if you have line of sight, and if not, you do see there are a series of what look like bats feasting on part of the rotting corpse here. These are the lizard bats that you saw before. They look like they've got some sort of mixture of iguana and bat. So they've got like a bat-like face with like a lizard-like dewlap, and then long tails, claws, and big bat-like wings.
Yes, well, if I can't get to the vultures, I might just send a lightning bolt towards the bat lizards.
Well, what do they do?
I just would be distracting. And I'd get some leather.
Wouldn't that piss off Tennille's friends?
Yeah, we might want to avoid hurting just innocent animals.
Okay, maybe I'll go for the tents too.
Although I really like the ruthlessness there.
Yeah,
You guys have never seen animals like this before.
I mean, I would be here. I do kind of want to study one. Maybe if they're alive, but if there's a dead one, we could dissect it. It looks like they're really leathery. I could dry that, make a coat.
Now
Collateral
Rax is
damage.
staring at you.
And we have the jars,
Suspiciously.
the preserving jars. Maybe we could. Anyways, we'll talk about
Yeah,
that afterwards.
we'll see how many die in the.
I've got a jar of dirt.
What?
The dust of delight. I can charm a creature from fighting to friendly. So if you're
Oh.
really curious.
After
Don't know it after a time, but I've
I
got a
mean-
jar of dirt.
But I've got a jar of dirt.
Oh, good.
All right, so we're coming down this direction here, and we're heading in with the wagon, and parking it at some distance away and getting out. Like, how far away do you want to park the wagon?
I think maybe we could leave the wagon back, move forward, cause the distraction, and then have Cantifer come up and maybe, because we wanted to get it as close as we could for like lurk behind the mast that's laying
Yeah.
on the ground.
I think that's a good idea.
It's kind of a
Excuse
defensive
me.
position.
Yes.
Cantifer.
The lizard.
It's our lizard. We call him by name.
So the wagon's being pulled by one of the cracklehorn lizards, and it just sort of like looks at you and extends its 1 foot long tongue and just like flaps it for a second and like retracts.
Good boy, Cantifer.
Yeah, so, you know, we'll have our lizard. We'll bring our wagon a little bit closer so that it's very dear to us.
Yeah, and the lizard's very well trained.
Yeah, he's voice commands and everything.
The lizard's like tails like thump 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 thump. Sound.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
So you guys convey that plan. Any preparations or anything like that as we exit the wagon here?
When we exit the wagon and start moving forward, I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace, and as long as you're all within 30 feet of me, you'll keep it.
Okay.
So we're going to kind of like sneak up towards the mast, I think.
Alright.
Yeah.
Do we think we're gonna start killing things in under an hour?
Yes.
100%. There's going to be a combat within an hour.
Yeah.
Almost certainly.
Okay.
I wanted to do it now because no one has seen us yet. It makes it a little bit easier.
No,
to
I'm
hide.
thinking of the bomb thing I do.
Oh, you can probably hold off on that.
Because I think there's a range limit. If we go out of it, the tether snaps kind of a thing.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm going to stay with you two, at least for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, the ladies are doing, or the ladies and Ren are doing ranged attacks.
Alright.
Well, before, how are you feeling? I know you did a lot of healing back there. Are you?
I'm good. There was a spell I should have meditated on this morning and I didn't. But you know what? It is what it is. It's good.
You have enough energy. Do you have all your second level spells?
I have all my second level spells left. Because it's kind of important for what I plan to do.
Alright, so pass without a trace.
Cast
Yes.
with a trace.
You guys are stealthing up, so everyone go ahead and roll a stealth check with your appropriate modifications. Pierce, you're still at disadvantage for being in heavier armor.
And
That's noisy.
And-
Those of you who are sick still have to roll with disadvantage.
Right.
However, you do add 10, thanks to pass without a trace.
17. I rolled a 17 twice.
Nice.
Excellent.
That's good.
Nice.
21.
Okay, so usually I'll just go down the line and ask for everyone, but that's fine. So Flo, how'd you do?
28.
28. Netka.
17.
Okay.
30.
30.
Jeez, boy.
21.
21.
18.
18.
32.
32. All right.
Yeah.
So the DC overall average was about 20 here, because you're going against. You can see soldiers who are there in the camp, like keeping watch. But the nice benefit here is there's a little bit more low light in this region. Shadows cast by the wreckage of the koi, and the stench is starting to really hit your senses as you wheel forward. You see bits of bone spurring out, kind of in a sort of arch coming up from the ground of what would look otherwise like brittle fish bones, very thin but long, and still to size quite large. Most of the bits and stuff are rotted. There's an especially stenchy, rotting smell coming from this like part of the wreckage over here. And you guys are moving around some of the different pieces, and after a little bit of delay, Cantifer just sort of like slowly coming along, and we'll park him behind the ruined column there, the mast column there.
Are we moving?
Yeah, we'll be going to break here in just a second.
Okay.
But you guys get closer to the engagement space, and you feel like you're able to at least get closer on the board, kind of starting to move into position around this region and deciding how much closer you want to get or where you want to start divvying up different space to maneuver. So with that, yeah, that's an overall success. The higher 31, 32 kind of rolls helped mitigate some of the lower rolls. And you feel comfortable and confident that you're at least able to get off this first strike / distraction without being detected. So nice job on that first stage, and we'll go ahead and go to break here so that everyone gets a chance to break and grab some sustenance or whatever before we go to combat. So be right back. We return now as the party encroaches. We are on the board here, successfully stealthed. The paper moth is on Slate's shoulder, but otherwise you guys are approaching. Cantifor has parked behind the column, and in a stealthy sort of way, the team has encroached. So what is the party's plan here? From you guys wanted to split up?
Diversion first. Okay, on 3.
What? No.
I'll
On
clip in
3.
my little potion
Can
into
I-
my staff.
Can I hop up on top of the caravan and hide behind some?
But don't we want to see if there's like people of importance? Should we take a moment and just do some observation, or we're just ready
sure.
to? Okay, we're just gonna go balls in. All right.
Grandpa. We're just.
Okay. Don't question it. Grandpa had an interesting, interesting 70s.
Wow. How old are you, sir?
All right, so you wanted to climb on top of the wagon.
Well,
Go
I
for
guess
it.
I'll stick.
Athletics check if you want to do it.
Okay.
Athletics. Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry, acrobatics will do. Just fine.
22.
22, yeah, you successfully climb up. You've probably done it once or twice already in your past time, I would
Just
imagine.
climbing the wagon.
So the center's probably going to be the easiest place to balance.
There.
There you go. Okay. So with that, you get into position there. The rest of the party, anyone want to move, or are you going to who's targeting what? Are you signaling to each other who's targeting what?
Target tents. Do I have line of sight to the vultures, and are they within 100 feet?
They are neither within 100. They might be within 100. They're probably not within 100 feet, and they're also not within line of sight at the moment. As you guys have come down into this like gulch or valley, you notice that most of the flyers are not flying. You don't see any of them around or anything like that. When you saw them from above, they were grounded, and they have seemed to be staying grounded. The only thing that you can probably see in the direct line of sight are the grounded creatures that are here, which I described already, the sort of iguana bats, and the other creatures that you've seen from a distance, but now get to see still from a distance, thankfully for you guys, but also note a little bit more about them. So these 3 are all the same, actually. I just ran out of models, so 1, 2, and 3. You're seeing them, and they appear to be large, unusually large cranes. But they seem to have feathers that seem to rustle like slithering steel that sort of grates and makes almost like a screeching noise as it chafes. So that's what you've got going on there. They have really long beaks, really like needle sharp beaks and stuff like that. But that is what you are seeing. So that's what's within your line of sight, at least at the moment.
Okay. Are the tents within our line of sight?
Yes, absolutely. This tent in particular, this is a little bit high as far as things go. It's about 20-ish feet, or actually it would be about 10 feet tall. It's 20 feet long, or, so to speak. So the tents are about this a lower height than that. So this tent would be not in line of sight, but this tent is clearly within line of sight.
Okay.
From your guys' current point of view. If you want to move closer or do anything different, that's going to be another set of stealth checks and stuff.
Do they? Can we tell what material they're made out of?
Make a perception check.
That is going to be, I think, an 18. No, 17.
17? Looks like canvas to you.
Okay.
We could, on 3, we could both set off a lightning bolt, set your firebolt, set off a lightning bolt, and then let chaos rain.
Okay. I'm going to aim towards the bottom of the tent to try and catch the bottom on fire.
I will aim towards the top to try to not to get people in it.
Okay. And you using lightning bolt or any other spell?
Lightning bolt.
Okay. And you using firebolt.
That's right.
So both of you have range. Anyone else want to do anything else?
I'm gonna attempt to stealth/hide on top of this one.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
And then I'll try to get the vultures with another lightning bolt if they head to the air.
17.
17? Okay. You feel pretty stealth and stuff like that. You're a little bit farther away. So it's a little easier for you. So at this stage, you guys are ready to count down. So why don't we go ahead and get into the combative moments here.
Cool. And Annette, I think I forgot, would have cast mage armor on herself back at before.
Yeah. I'm gonna give myself vigilant
I don't know if I
blessing.
can. Wait,
What are you trying
because
to do?
it's
What's that?
I can cast it once per turning.
What's that?
Mage armor.
Did you do it before?
I did it right before we were with Arcturus. It's part of Magic Initiate, but can I spend a first level spell slot to recast it?
Most of them have been rewritten to include that as an
Okay.
option, yes. But I would say it's 8-hour duration. Yeah, it's been over 8 hours. So
Yeah.
It's a new turn.
technically it's a new turning, so you could just do it outright without
Okay.
taking the slot.
All right.
So save yourself a slot and do that.
Cool.
So you guys have mage armor up. Slate, did you want to take this time to cast the bond, or do you want to save that until you guys are certain to be closer?
I don't remember how long it lasts. Warding bond.
It's a minute.
It's just a minute. Then no.
Pretty sure.
I'll save it.
Don't forget.
I'm not certain, but I'm
We'll go with that.
pretty sure.
And actually, Renostus will give to Neil.
360.
Wait, no, it's a new turning. Wait.
Oh, that means you would have
Oh,
different
does this potion-
potions.
does this-
Doesn't that happen
potion-
on long rest, not on?
Oh no,
turning?
it's long rest. That's right.
So
that's
do we
good.
still have these
That's actually
potions
great, yeah.
Yes,
then?
you do.
Okay.
And then I
It's 1 hour.
It is 1 hour. That's what I thought. Sure did.
don't
And
have any juice
the
in it.
distance
That's a
is
healing
60 feet. That is the breaking point.
Okay.
Okay, so with that, are you going to do it then?
Do you think they're going to be within 60 feet of each other? Will I be needing to run off and do something, do you think?
60 feet is one of these boards, just so you have a frame of reference.
If I have to run away more than 60 feet away from you, things have gone to all the hells.
So do it now.
Do it
Okay.
now. I'm gonna give myself vigilant blessing.
Okay,
So it'll reach out, grab the tether between two of them, strengthen it.
got it. All right, so you got warning bond up.
I feel bonded.
Bonded. All right, so you're casting lightning bolts. That doesn't require a particular type of attack roll, but go ahead and roll there, Renostus. You're easily within range.
And is this at disadvantage?
No, you only have 1 point of exhaustion, which is just ability checks, not attack rolls.
That is a 16.
16, yeah. Pretty easy to hit a tent at this distance and stuff like that. I'm going to say you guys moved up to this point and did that. So you kind of fire the potion on staff firebolt, sort of sulfurous explosive that begins to crackle along the flames, the sort of lip bottom edge of this tent, immediately providing quite a bit of light in the region by comparison, where there's a lot of dark shadows and stuff. And then Anetka.
Yeah. So I would be casting lightning bolt, trying to aim for like the top of the.
Yeah, so you're easily able to do that, and you feel that, like, as you're tapping into that type of magic, you feel just like the ambient electricity in the sands, in the storm above, and you can definitely feel it, like, drawing towards you, and it feels more potent than you were expecting it to be when it gets pushed out.
Oh, that's fun.
So a huge lightning bolt. Usually so it's a little like more solid, and all of you have like on your retinas just like this imprinted blue light flash as it really lights up this part of the area. You guys are in that sort of like overcast and like fading to blues kind of coloration of the sky at the moment, so it really like highlights those blues all in the recesses of the region. The tent is now just like scorched and flaming on multiple locations, and you begin to hear like "Irida, Eureka, Eureka, and like all of them are beginning, and they're shouting in a language you don't recognize. But immediately, like two arms is clearly being called. The three individuals there begin to like they form up together in this formation line, and face your guys' direction. You also see another trio pop out and take up formation, sort of in that direction. All of these bats begin to like turn in your guys' direction. These two cranes turn in your guys' direction, and then you see coming out from the tent or right next to it, you see two individuals. One individual seems to have so you see a human, a very pale human woman. She has what look like swirling, almost like Maori style tattoos in like a blood red crimson up her neck, around her eyes, and stuff like that. And then she seems to have like scar lines through her scalp that seem to highlight that. She's wearing a blood red robe with black markings on it, and she begins to make some like chattering, almost chanting sounds. The other individual that runs up immediately draws two swords. One, both are sort of katana-esque. One shorter than the other, sort of wakizashi and katana, and does this sort of like as they draw, bringing the edges around the hips space and like highlighting them in his own blood, and they both glow with a sort of ambient black and white colored flame. So, and you see him like point them toward your guys' position. But you guys have drawn this attention. You also see, as they do, some creatures begin to take to the skies here. We've got what looks like the hybrid of a monitor lizard, a very large Komodo dragon that has huge bat-like wings and a scorpion's tail, which is represented here. That is rising into the air. Not a ton, actually, so it would be more like on these. I bought a bunch of stands. So we can have flying space. This one is another flying dagger crane. It's sort of stays, it like unfurls its wings in sort of like that motion that like flamingos or swans might do. And it instead sounds like a sort of and you see like razor-edged wings, wing feathers shift into position. Similarly, you hear like and like this whole area begins to come alive with noise and spaces. You don't see any vultures take to the sky, but you do see a lot more sounds kind of take effect. So at this stage, we're gonna roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That's a lot of carp.
Whoa. That's got some heft.
Rolling her boulder over there.
That's a bonk.
All right. We got that.
How'd you do, sir? That's
Just a look.
Yes. Is it natural?
It's good.
It's
It's a
good?
good natural.
Ooh,
Yeah.
we need
You
that.
feel natural. Okay. Yep, just remember anything.
Oh no.
Trying to abbreviate stuff. And then we've got, who else do we need to do? We need to do you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Indeed.
So that's,
Get used to that, Pierce.
all right, 25 to 20. All right, Flo at 23.
I don't get to see this part of this dice
Okay.
I'll record this in
20 to 15. Okay.
Oh no.
They're
Alright,
in
cool, cool,
danger.
we good.
Yeah. Oh. Interesting. 15 to 10.
10.
10.
Okay.
I think
Tennille's gonna go first.
So
It's
Tennille
got
at 10A. Anetka at 10B.
And Renatus at 12.
Oh, okay. E.
Sorry.
Nope, all good. Okay, so we got Renasus at 12. We actually have Kapaji Lady at Gerania at 13. Renasus at 12. Then we've got Tennille at 10. Anetka at 10B. 10 to 5.
9.
Okay, Neverax at 5.
9.
9, sorry. Jeez. And Slate. Slate at the hot 7.
Woo, girl.
Welcome to my life.
You can have it back.
Oh no.
Brutal. And the Komodo Wyvern.
You know, what do you want to hear? Komodo Wyvern.
It sounds pretty badass.
I mean, as long as like the other people do what they say they're gonna do,
They all just leave.
I'm expecting it actually, but
So we said distraction, but I'm starting to think maybe bait is what I'm feeling like.
I mean, in fairness.
What's the difference, really?
yeah, yes.
Yeah, well, we just have to kill them before they all reach us.
I wish I had Fireball. I missed that spell.
Okay. So, top of the round is going to be, so we got south flank and we got the north flank. So let's pull up those. We did get that effect off, so that's going to be good for them. Lay out all my papers.
We do
Need
keep
more
slicing.
Yes, please.
It'd be real nice if I didn't have my stuff in 3 different apps. Why am I like this?
You enjoy supper?
Alrighty, so you see this situation begin to take form, and everything's like facing you and beginning to stage. But Flo, from your high vantage point, begins to see the instant that everything hits and everyone's running out of the tents and things are going wild. You're there, you're ready, you're right off the gate, so you're top of the round. On deck is going to be Duranya with Renasis to follow.
Oh boy.
Do I see those sketchy, bloody individuals in between the tents?
You do see them. Sorry, Feline, I'm going to get in your space a little bit a lot this fight.
A little bit.
Well, I mean, people who are closer, please help me move the models and stuff like that. But yes, you do see them. It's easier to see this individual here, the robed woman that I described from your vantage point. The wagon's not higher than 10 feet, so it's not like you're getting a huge vantage point, but you are clearly above all your buddies. So you're able to to see her for sure.
I'm gonna make a shot at her.
Okay, so you're well over. Oh, actually, you're 60-foot range. So that's going to be 12 inches. So we can tell that you're over the 12-inch mark because you're trying to get all the way here. So that's going to be within your long range. So you'll fire at disadvantage. But
I
you
have
are firing
advantage
from stealth, so we're going to make it a straight roll.
Straight roll.
Woo!
But this will not be a sneak attack if you do hit, because you're not having them attack with advantage anymore. You could expend and do a Deadeye shot to make it advantage. If you wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing Deadeye with advantage to get sneak attack shot. Go for it.
Yeah.
Snack attack, roll well.
Nick tack.
Make sure I'm marking it.
Okay.
And then max roll on the dice.
And you see the first thing she did. You see her, what looks like bite her thumb, and you see her like swirl it in the air around her, and you see like a red light, a bloody red light, similar to like mage armor that you see in some other people. It looks like she casts some kind of defensive magic around herself. Great, fire away.
Ooh, I like that. That's going to be a 27.
27 definitely hits. Yeah, so you line up two-handed, proper shoulder width apart stance. You're able to take that shot, no problem. So go ahead and roll damage and add sneak attack bonuses.
Snack attack.
Nick tack.
17 points.
17 points of damage. Alrighty. Okay, so as you fire, there's not so much a boom, so much as a rushing sound. Kind of like the sound of, I don't know how to describe it as much as just like something like really rushing and then like a sound. And the barrel sort of lights up with a bunch of interior light as the lumen dust expends its projectory power, and the projectile fires straight through past all this stuff and strikes her sort of in the meat of the shoulder, and you see her like really jerk back with recoil from the shot.
Okay. I can go back into stealth as my bonus action.
You can.
Okay.
Woo!
So go ahead and do that. Bonus action. Stealth.
Backflip
I still
off,
have passed
so-
without a trace up, technically.
Oh,
Mhm.
so do I add?
Plus 10.
Oh.
I mean, the DC's higher because you got everybody looking at you now.
26.
Yeah, so you do that, and then you immediately, like, you can describe how you want to do it, but I would imagine you, like, fall flat against
and
the...
like pop over like some
Yeah,
fabric
like-
over
like
my
a tarp.
head. Yeah.
so,
Little gooey suit.
yeah. So you're able to, like,
but
fall...
have my eyes like peeking out.
Yeah. So that settles out with that as far as things go. At this stage, this is when things take the turn. From the south and from the north simultaneously, you see incoming flashes of light, and particularly from the south, you see, those of you, especially Flo from your advantage point, you see 7 of these cracklehorn lizards line up with all of the electricity gathering in their horns, and a simultaneous 7-point discharge of electricity fires in this line as they get within close. They seem to be focusing mostly around the flying dagger cranes that are on their side, and so you see like, and for a second, like the whole world just like comes apart in thunder and lightning, as it just like echoes throughout the mismass of the chamber. Immediately, it's gonna be. Look at my I spent the morning pre-calculating all the averages so that I know how things are going. Yeah, so immediately 2 bats and both dagger cranes go down from the volley of lightning and stuff. You also saw what looked like more directed bolts of lightning coming off some of the individuals, and from afar you see we're going to use my night models because that's what I have, but they clearly have used the distraction as the point to advance. All of these but one are ridden, and you see Erasmira with her wings very clearly as one of the mounted individuals. She's the one with the actual dragon on the heraldry helm there. They're a little bit farther back, but I'm just placing them on the board so I'm not encroaching on Pierce's space. But you see them clearly do that, and as they do, you see the Dynasty begin to quickly turn and try and take shape in this conflict here. While that's happening, you also see that the Hestapha tribe seems to have taken this opening. Let's see, here we go. North flank. We do have surprise. Let's see what they do right away. Yeah, so from this side, it's kind of hard to see, but they bring in their rolling Galvadillo with their shockwave ballista on the back here, and all 3 of the individuals are being pulled along at speed. The Galvadillo is just in a rolling ball, and you see this like leading tide on the sand, like a ripple of the surf, but it's like static electricity running along like sheets, lighting up that space, and you see the power, like almost like a powering up behind the crossbow, and they fire, and they easily take out one of the like beaked individuals. It's a single target thing, so unfortunately they're doing that, but they do get closer into position, and as they do, you see a lot of you hear a lot of like rustling movement and stuff like that sort of shift this direction. Still no vultures in the air though. All right, with all of that described, now it is for the next actual individuals in this initiative order to go. So you hear the individual with the 2 swords bark something like Uragi, Dinarus, Iras, Konarisoros, and begins giving orders to some of the individuals here who begin to line up and take formation. Simultaneously, you hear these like shrieking sounds as the iguana bats begin to take to the air and fly over to engage with this foe. While they're doing that, he's running forward and is going to do. Let's see. Who we doing? Here we go. So he is going to go ahead and cast. Actually, what he is going to do is you see him like make those orders and stuff like that, and then you see him like run towards the flying Komodo wyvern. At the same time, the blood sculptor gets to go. So you see her begin to kind of pull forward from some of the casualties that have already been seen. She sort of calls in, and you see this like tide of crimson pull in and combine with the shadows, and she is going to unleash it in your guys' direction and cast Sickening Radiance.
Oh no.
So that is a 30-foot radius in this area, and you see it becomes lit with this bloody and crimson light. So I need to make sure I understand the spell correctly. Here we go. So, yeah, so when you enter the area for the first time or start your turn there, so this will be when you guys start your turn there, you'll have to make a Constitution saving throw. So the area is lit, and it sort of gives these crimson highlights to the whole battlefield as it begins to take shape. Simultaneously, she climbs on the back of her flying dagger crane. Flyers. Right? But they're not yet airborne. All right, that's it for their turn. So now it is Geranya's turn. Seeing this opportunity in her flying shape form, she is going to simply fly over. We'll use her there, but she's still kind of disguised in her flying shape, and is just going to get into position over here. She's going to do that and then hold her action to do something.
Is she the shape changer?
Shape changer, yeah.
That's Haranja, right?
What did I say?
Gerania.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay, just so
Thank
I'm
you.
like.
Haranja. I gotta change that on my thing. I keep saying Durania because we also have
We also Durania. Yeah.
Durania.
But I wanted to make sure I had the right person.
Yes. Haranja gets into position there. The Kapaji. So that's it for her turn. She's going to hold her action. So that puts Renastus up on the initiative order with Tennille on deck and an Etka to follow.
Can I, from here, I can see, this is one of the
That's the Komodo Wyvern.
Komodo Wyvern. Can I see this one?
The Dagger Crane? Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot a firebolt at it.
Okay, so before you do that, you're starting your turn in the Sickening
Oh,
Radiance, so you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
At disadvantage?
Nope.
Okay.
You just have, it's only checks that are at disadvantage.
Oh.
7.
7? Okay, so you take a point of exhaustion.
No!
Oh,
Well,
no.
that's reduced movement.
Okay.
Tana got exhausted a lot.
Yeah. I think Renassus is getting there too.
You also take 30 points of radiant damage.
Oh, okay.
Don't fail your saves.
Yep, everybody get the fuck out.
So in this space, you can feel actually your blood getting heavier. Your whole body is being weighted down as the weight in your of all the parts of your veins and stuff begin to bulge against the skin as if they're being pulled towards the earth.
Oh lord.
All right, but now you can act as normal.
Oh no.
I am going to. Is this? So I know you said the hills are part of the koi flesh. Is this that scenario too?
Yep. They're like mounds. You can get on them.
Okay.
Rotting koi mounds.
I'm going to go
Please.
back. So now I have 15 feet of movement.
Okay.
I'm going to go. Can I go 15 feet in this direction?
Yeah, that would put you, Megan or Kat. You want to move? It'd just be on the cusp of the hill, upward a little bit further. There you go.
Okay.
Be generous with the 15 feet. You're still in the radius, I should say.
Okay.
This
Is there
30
anywhere
foot,
that I can?
So it's bigger than the template I showed. The one I showed is 20 feet. I don't have a 30 foot.
I see.
But we can measure. She
I
cast it
will-
on this. Here, I'll show you. She cast it on right around where Neverax is. So this is the radius. So flow is out of it by virtue of angular geometry.
I'll take the dash action.
Dash action. Okay,
Can I get in there?
you can.
Okay.
Those are occupiable spots.
And I would we still be able to see out? Like, is this
yes,
accurate?
this is
Okay.
open to the air. That's
And
how you can
then-
get in.
I will go.
Okay, so you're you're really feeling your ears. There's the decking there is very damp, and you're noticing what looks like these are two glass tanks, and one of them has been broken open, and its contents and creature within have been spilled onto the deck.
Okay. Then for my bonus action, I am going to. The bee doesn't take any, does it? The bee can do a Constitution saving throw. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So does the bee need to do a con saving throw?
It does.
Okay. Oh no, BB. It gets a 15.
15's a pass, so that's going to be, I think it's all or nothing. Yep. Succeed or take the damage. No half on pass. So nothing for the bee.
He can't handle that. So he's got 30 feet of flying.
Okay.
I'm gonna have him go over here.
Do you want him in the air?
Yes.
How far?
I would say pretty far, maybe 15 feet in the air.
Okay.
I
We'll
guess
use
that's
this.
pretty
You can't get too much if you're going to go too far. Remember, because you got to think angularly. But that's enough that you'll be able to get some rise there. So now we got this dimensionality going.
I still want to be out of the radius if possible. I started here. He's got 30 feet flying speed. Would he be able to get out?
Yeah, we'll say it's right around where you would be, maybe a little bit further. So
Okay.
keep reaching over you for
And then I'll have him do his ranged.
Attack on who?
This little shit. This guy.
Okay.
19.
19 definitely hits. Go roll.
Where is my dice?
It's going to be a d4, I believe?
Yep, 1d4. And I got a 4, and then
Nice.
it's plus 4.
Right, so 8 points of force damage.
Heck yeah, little
So,
bee.
the iguana bat looks like it's clearly got some. Actually, noticing this closer, you actually see kind of where the lines meet of the different creatures, like the neckline and the wing line and stuff like that. You see the similar, Maori style red tattooing.
Okay, not a natural iguana bat.
Okay, So that's it for B turn.
It is.
It looks like it got hurt, but it looks like it's got plenty of fight still in it.
Okay.
All right, that's it for B turn. So we've got the next is the Komodo Wyvern with Tennille to follow, and then Anetka. The Komodo Wyvern obeys whatever kind of command this individual has taken. And dies. Thank you. And like swoops down, and he does that sort of like Legolas flip over the back kind of situation, and lands in a saddle that he's got in it, and then continues. Oh, nice. Continues to die and loses way. Yeah, grounded.
Oh, no.
It's all good. This one's not glued together.
Okay.
So then he flies 60 feet and is going to just get right up in your guys' business. So 60 feet, he can actually clear the space and cover the distance. So he is going to swoop down. Actually, no, he's not going to do that.
No radiance?
Yeah, that's why he's not going to do that. So what he is going to do is simply get into better vantage point position. So we got. Actually, this is the one I want for this. I got options. And he can be up there too. All right. So we got Komodo Wyvern flying up high above the battle, surveying the field and going there. All right. So that's it for Komodo Wyvern's turn. Now it is Tennille, then Anetka.
Con save.
Yep, correct.
Oh, that went flying. That is a 22.
22's a pass. Very nice roll.
Yeah.
Can I get out of the range if I run towards Renastus? Or do I need to use the dash to get out of it?
How much movement do you have?
I have 30.
30? That's a 30-foot radius, and you're not the exact center of it.
Right.
So you would have to do it, you would want to move backward, because that's the difference in distance that brings you closer to the edge. So if
Right.
you moved in this direction or like this direction, yes. But if you moved towards Renastus, you wouldn't quite make it. You'd be on the 5-foot verge.
And each of these is 60 feet, right?
Each of the boards is 60 feet, yes.
I'm going to use the dash action
Okay.
and move up towards Renastus.
Okay, you're seeing the same thing. The creature in the tank looks like a smaller baby koi fish, and looks like it was stabbed.
Oh.
It's smaller in the sense that it's about 8 feet, 6 feet.
Baby. And then I'm going to bonus action cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay,
But
nice.
so this time, Renastus will kind of see like holding out his hand and like do that sort of motion, and then we'll say somewhere up here. So instead of the vines you guys are used to, you see kind of like the dust start to swirl around, and the scythe rises up, but instead of it being like wooded and vine covered and all of that, it's more like stone and like sand is swirling, and the blade is like lightning.
Sweet.
Dope.
I love it. Okay, that's it for Tennille's turn.
Yep, that's all I can do.
Okay, so Netka, you're up with Navarax on deck.
Okay.
Navarax?
Navarax.
Navarax. Okay.
Rax. Ew.
On save.
Con
Yep,
save.
save.
Oh, that's a big boy.
It's still a big boy. Yep.
Still, well, I'm gonna use my inspiration just to be safe. That'll be
Y'all.
That's a feeling I know well.
18.
18's a pass. Alright, so no damage, no point of exhaustion either.
Okay.
And again, you would need to go backward or dash if you wanted to get out of the reach.
Okay. Is this guy within 60 feet of me?
The flyer?
The
the
wyvern.
Yep.
Okay. I would like to see in her hand she knits a little, like, kind of looks like a little bit of fire, and I'd like to cast Phantasmal Force on the wyvern to try to make him think that we are surrounded by like a bubble of fire.
Okay, on the wyvern specifically.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, what kind of save? Int save?
I'm not familiar with that one.
The thing, can I have a player? Sorry, the thing I printed it on specifically managed to like get an ink smudge on what type of save it is. 264.
264.
Phantasmal Force.
Intelligence save.
Yes.
Okay, what's your DC?
DC is 16.
Okay. So you see it's got its sort of like sort of rounded lizard head, and is sort of tasting the air, and floating its tail sort of dangling underneath, scorpion-like. And you see it sort of, as it's like swooping around and gaining position, you see it sort of like and seems to like back up and do like a sort of wing flapping motion to readjust. The guy on top is sort of like moving with the reins and trying to reconnect and stay on the saddle at the same time.
Woo. And
So.
I will
Nice job.
scoochy scooch backwards.
Yeah, good thought. He doesn't have a high
Good
intelligence.
idea.
Yeah, like the guy probably does. But if his mount's not coming here,
Okay, I got it.
Thank you.
that's
Put on the wing or something.
Yeah.
Thank you.
cool.
That's gonna fall off so quick.
You're still in range.
Okay, would I be able to move backwards? There, sorry, Flo.
You'd be able to move far enough back, yeah.
Okay.
That would be okay. So you can go ahead and move.
Does it work on the back wings?
Okay.
It's just not working, guys. I'm sorry.
Right, where did the guy go?
I've
I'll
got
take the
him.
guy.
Okay.
I just took the wings off and on his
Yeah, and I was envisioning fire like in a, kind of in a here-ish area.
Thanks. There you go.
Okay. So fire in a here-ish area. Got it.
Yeah.
In a net. And that is okay. Well,
Just
That's
put
fine.
it.
Put it on the
You know.
base, maybe.
yeah, that's fine.
Like on
Just
the.
lay it on top.
It's a halo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, it's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
fine.
So that's it for Annetka's turn, and you are now out because you backed up.
Yeah.
The appropriate amount. Good. Next up is going to be. That's the pages. That's fine. Okay. So Navarax, you're up. With Slate to follow.
Oh, here you go.
Don't die.
Got it.
Con save.
Got it.
Con save.
D20.
Connie.
15.
15's a pass.
How far is this? Can I run to it?
So, where are you trying to get to?
Kind of like right behind this guy.
Yeah, you can get there.
Okay.
You want to move there?
Not yet. So with my bonus action, Navarax is going to just kind of pull his arms aside, and his gauntlets like flare up, and you see those symbols on them just kind of get bright all of a sudden, and he just shouts a single word in the giant language, and he smashes his gauntlets together, and then he now has giant smite. He's a big.
Oh my god.
He's large.
What do you
Heck
say?
yeah.
What do you say? A lot of us speak giant.
3 of us speak giant.
Just say large.
You see an ad kicked out.
I like to imagine he says it deadpan too.
Yeah.
Large.
And then he's going to kind of rush back behind this person here.
Okay.
And as he's doing it,
So this is your ally at the moment, just so you know.
Oh, it's my ally?
Yep, that's the
Oh, sorry.
shape-shifting guy.
Oh, can I then move over kind of like this way then?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Is that
Dead.
So, he's kind of coming up behind this guy, and he's going to just be kind of like dragging his glaive like kind of low to the ground, and he's going to do an attack.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Oh.
Alright, so as you're doing that, you're kicking up electric sand that's like gathering in like little tines along the metal. That's what it makes. That's the sound it makes. Yep. That's the sound of lightning.
It's
15
like
to hit.
15 to hit. That does hit.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
It's gonna be real sad if your first attack didn't hit.
So
After
you're-
growing,
oh,
so you're gonna be at D10 plus the D6, I believe.
plus
for
the
quick
D6.
grow? Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
3, 7, 10, 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. All right. So this thing like was clearly facing towards them, and you hear something like a kind of shrieking sound as you whoosh up the back. Go ahead and add a D6 for me.
2.
It also takes 2 lightning damage from all the electricity that you gathered up off the floor.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's cool.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And then I'm going to, I guess like I'm just gonna attack again. So after he like brings up the glaive, he just kind of like comes back down with the momentum. And
Got it.
Hits again.
Go for it. Attack roll. I'm liking the narration.
12.
12 unfortunately does not hit. This thing now does that sort of like push away motion and flare with the wings to kind of kick off, and as you're bringing it down, it just sort of, and it sort of sends like a thunder on the sand, but unfortunately does not land the blow. Alright. Anything else from you? That was action, bonus action.
I think that's it.
Alright.
Did you want to be out of the range or the radius of the sickness?
He can't get any out of the range. It was basically cast on top of him, so he can move exactly. So he's like in the cusp of it. Okay. Next up is going to be the flying dagger crane, and then Slate.
I'm gonna keep rolling until
Sounds good.
we get there.
I need to check 1d4 here.
We'll see.
3.
Good boulder.
Or giant metal.
I like how you went to a stall. You're like, yeah, this big beef boy. How much for this?
Yeah. I mean, would you have done any differently?
100% the same.
Every time she goes to a con, she's just gonna come back with progressively bigger
Bigger dice.
I mean, they had like the stuffed dice, but this is functional, and unlike this, probably is not a bludgeoning weapon if it goes too far.
All right. So
like on last con.
the lady is on the back of this flying dagger crane. You see, it's got like red tines along the blood grooves of the feathers slash daggers, and it does that sort of like motion, and 3 daggers go flying out. They're all going to go towards nearest target Slate. They're at disadvantage because they're a little bit far, and they don't want to get into the position. So let's see. That one. Nope. With disadvantage, unfortunately, not so much, because the successful hit turns from 16 to 6. So you see the daggers, the feather daggers, kind of razor sharp, go into the sand, and then the last one, ching, off the like vambrace of your armor, and it just sits in the sand there. But now they're airborne and animated into the battle. All right, Slate, you're up. Top of the round is going to be Flo next.
That was a long round, holy cow.
Was it worth it?
Yes.
Okay.
21.
Dang!
For what?
Woo.
Con save.
Con save, you passed.
Alright, so I'm gonna be smarter than I was before. I'm gonna drink the boldness potion.
Okay, so it's a bonus action to self drink.
Yep. So I'm gonna drink that. And I'm just kind of there.
You bold, my friend.
Where's the center? Like here? In front of me? Or...
Yeah, just slightly in front of you. Like, it would be adjacent to you if it was an enemy.
It
So
tastes like blueberries, and now you feel a sudden urge to be extra.
Alright, guys, let's do this. Where's... I can't tell from where I am. Is Tennille back in there somewhere?
He's in
Tennille's
there.
in the underside part of it,
Yeah, he's with Grandpa.
I don't like the fact that they just broadsided us, but... I guess I'm gonna keep in range, because I think that's the only way I can get out.
Okay.
Is that...
What are you trying to do? Get towards Tennille?
I want to get out of the radius of the sickening radiance near Tennille.
Then you would have to dash in that direction.
What? Can I just go here?
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you backed up, it'd be okay. So if you went like this direction, then yeah, you can do that.
And then I guess I will move back like that.
Okay.
Can I hold my action still?
Sure.
I will. So right now I'd have my long sword and shield out.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything comes in range, I'll attack it. But I don't have any good range options.
Sounds good. Okay, so you do have your shield up. Good to know.
Yeah.
It'd probably be your shield that blocked the dagger then, with the feather.
So that's what I
Okay.
can do.
Sounds good. All right, top of the round. Flo, you're up.
Okay, from beneath my covers, I'm gonna try and attempt a shot at this guy,
The mount or the guy on top of
the
it?
guy on top.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Do I have advantage because I'm stealthy?
You are stealthed. What I would say is I would say he's gonna have a bit of an.
I have a plan. You'll
I'm
like
worried.
it.
I'm gonna say he's gonna have a disadvantage to be hit though because he's on a huge, large mount and he's like riding and shuffling on it. So it would just be a straight shot.
Okay, what about? It's the same for her, I'm guessing too.
Less so for her actually because of the scenario. He's like that because his mount is reacting to the fiery net that just appeared out of nowhere.
Oh, that's right. Okay, but I'm still out of 60 feet of her, correct?
Of her, yeah, just about.
Before I make my shot, I want to pull out a little set of dice.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You just hear on the top.
Yeah. Within my covers, I'm just like So I'm gonna roll 2d6
That's what Yahtzee
and
games
hope for
are
a 3 to 11.
Okay.
Always end with
12.
Yeah.
In the south, they might.
Okay, I got a 5, so that's
Okay.
within the range.
So what does that do?
My attack roll is a 10 on the dice.
Okay. So automatically is a 10.
Yeah,
So you're using the charge.
I'm using the charge.
Okay. So it's an
Um,
automatic 10.
Yeah, but it gets my bonus.
Bonuses,
correct?
of course. Yeah.
So it's an 18 to hit with my pistol.
18 hits.
I mean, I'm a +7 for spell.
Do I get a sneak?
You didn't attack with advantage, so no. The wording of sneak attack is you're attacking with advantage.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Okay.
But I'm hitting the lady.
Yep.
Correct.
The one the one you did before. Yeah. So it's D8, right?
Ah, it's D10 because my upgraded my
D10.
pistol.
You upgraded it. Yep.
Upgrade.
Upgrade.
4.
4. Okay.
I rolled a 1.
Defense cap is always available.
Yeah, he'll sit there for a little bit. He hasn't always been bad to me, but.
Okay. And
Today
so
is
does provoke a concentration check. He's fine now. So manages to hold off that. Okay, so that's it for LaFleur's turn. Unless you
That
want
was
to move.
on the lady, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Anything else for your turn?
I'm gonna try and stealth.
Stealth again. Okay. Go ahead and do a stealth check.
She's still within 30 feet of me? Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, so no +10, sorry.
Okay, yeah, it's okay.
DC is going to be a lot higher too because you're popping up, firing, rolling dice, popping up, firing. I like to imagine one almost goes tumbling off and you're like, oh shoot, you grab it like.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You gonna do it?
I'm thinking about moving, but I might try to stay there one more time.
Okay.
Okay. 22.
22. Okay. Okay. You feel reasonably hidden in some factions.
Okay.
Alrighty. This is pretty hard after 2 rounds, and you're not hiding behind too much now from the vantage point that they're at. But
I know.
anyway, that's good. Okay, so that's it for your turn. Next up is their turns. So the Dynasty Inquisitor is going to go ahead and what's he gonna do?
Oh wait, I can't go into stealth because that was my bonus action for.
Yeah, it was. So you're not.
So
Do you want to move?
I might move, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, I just realized. Can I like slide off the top?
Sure. Make a acrobatics check.
Okay. 15.
15. Yeah, you slide off. It's not a smooth, buttery surface, but you do so you like, and you like kind of clip a little bit of it, but you stick the landing. So you're on the ground. I'm assuming on the side nearest slate.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of tuck in. No, I wanted to go
Oh,
on
you
the
want to
right
go that
side.
way? Okay.
And just kind of hide behind this mound of fish.
Okay.
I mean, I can't really hide, but I'm gonna be behind this.
Got it.
Cool.
Alrighty. Behind the fish mound. Alrighty. That's it for your turn there. The Inquisitor's going to say, Hasegawa, Inuris, Urokos, and sort of shouting in another language you don't recognize. And then is going to hold his action, but sort of pool around on the reins and stuff, and is going to make a inner hidden check. Alright. Successful. Alright, so we'll get to him when we come back to that. But next is the round of the individual who is the Blood Sculptor. She is going to willingly end her concentration on the Sickening Radiance. So those of you who had the exhaustion lose it. It goes away when the spell breaks.
Cool.
And she is going to instead twist the light from that and into sort of a bloody, like gelatinous shape that begins to take form. And she is going to cast Shaman Shadow Spawn right into the space in the Fury aspect. It appears to be a 2, kind of like in, if you picture those of you who've seen Spirited Away, kind of like No Face in Spirited Away, when he's got his like mouth open, his tongue hanging out, but 2 heads like superimposed, fused like scalp to scalp. One is all black, and one is all white, and then the body is all red. And then it is going to go ahead and move up into position.
I don't care for this.
I can afford a vault. I can hit this one.
Alrighty. Did you wanted to hold your action? Did you want to use it?
If it's in range, I would like to swing.
Yeah, it is getting in range. It looks like it's going after Anetka.
Okay, well, I'm attacking then, 'cause that's what I said I was doing.
Go ahead.
With a long sword. Probably gonna hit. That will be 20 total.
20 does hit.
And then long sword is a D8.
Correct.
High roll. That is gonna be 12 points damage.
12 points. All right. So it is then going to act immediately after her turn, and is going to unleash its whatever it is. It is going to do its dreadful scream. So both of you, all of you, within 30 feet, have to take a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
Wisdom.
Thank you.
We be wise, right? We be wise, guys.
Thank
I'm
you for
pretty
support.
wise. Oh, I'm not wise.
You're not within range. Well,
Me neither.
That's 3 18s too. That's pretty good.
Grandpa's not having any of this shit tonight.
I know that song.
okay, Tennille, how'd you
13?
do? 13, that is not a success. You are frightened.
Cool.
Renostas,
8.
also frightened.
Yep.
21.
Your pass. Anetka,
6.
frightened. So, frightened means you have disadvantage while you're looking in the direction of the thing, and you also can't willingly move closer to it.
Disadvantage on attack rolls.
Disadvantage on everything. Attack rolls and ability checks, I think, but not saving throws. Okay, that's it for her cast and its turn. So now the Komodo Wyvern is going to... no, is that right? No. Haranja is going to... leap into action. Now that the thing is down, she is going to move into position, getting as close as possible to the base of the thing. And you see her pull out what look like pieces of green paper that immediately fold themselves into shurikens.
Ooh,
As she
sure.
goes ahead and takes a couple shots at the the Blood Sculptor. What is her attack bonus with that? Origami Shuriken. So that's going to be with disadvantage, but with advantage, because she's attacking from stealth. But it's long range, so straight roll. Alright, first one misses with a 12. Mage Armor protects. Second one is going to hit. So that is going to be a... So the first one like whistles off into the... Just like glances off and then whistles off and folds into a piece of paper that just... But the other one hits and does 3 plus 4, 7 piercing damage. 1, 2, 3 plus surprise attack. So she gets another 9, 13 points of damage. So what did I say? 7 plus 13, so 20 points. Blood Sculptor is hurting, and that's a concentration check, which she is going to pass. Alright, then the shuriken unfolds and becomes a bird that is then like haranguing and harassing the space.
Nice.
Alright, so there's a bird up there. We're using a manta ray, because I don't have little baby birds. But it's up there and is like darting around, made of green paper. Okay, so that's it for her turn. Next up, finally, is the Komodo Wyvern with Renostas on deck.
I thought Ren went first. And then the Komodo Wyvern, and then I went.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
My bad.
Ren is going to clip another potion into his staff, but then he's like, and he's gonna run.
Okay.
So I'm gonna run to about here.
Okay.
No, I don't want to be in that guy's threat range.
Yeah, so hang on. One other thing I should mention is like stuff has happened now in the midst of this battle, but these guys are like firing on these guys, and to give like a narrative description of what's happening, these guys are like taking stance and like firing a volley of arrows. 2 more guys pop out of the tent and just like appear in the shadows of some of these guys. So there's like attacks flying and lightning shooting this way and that. It's kind of a maelstrom of combat. Most of the bats that are still alive are like going in and shrieking at their targets. So this one would have moved out of your threat range. So you can go ahead and make an attack of opportunity on it.
Okay. Let's just roll 20 for attack.
Yep, normal attack roll.
Ooh,
20.
Nat 20.
That's 20! Alright. So this means you double the damage dice, which is both the d10 and the d6.
The d6 is only once per turn.
Okay, so...
So it's just the d10.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
just
your,
a
you have Sentinel. because I moved out of your threat range, so I can't move.
Oh yeah.
You hit it. Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that and double it. And then add your modifiers.
That's a 9, 18 plus 3, 21.
Alright, so as it takes off, you just like in one swipe, take one wing, take the tail, and then it just like, and you just dead.
Oh my god.
Stick a fork in it, it's gone.
That's a dunzo.
Yeah, I mean, it really isn't moving
Sorry.
anywhere.
Alright, it really isn't moving anywhere. You have the highest level of Sentinel, which is dead. You're dead. Alright, Renostus, sorry to continue on. This thing is like crashing through now, but you guys aren't really seeing what's going on. But you do see like sort of thunderous, and you see some like body parts getting sploon around.
Renostus is gonna, he's not hiding necessarily, but he's gonna hang behind this lovely big boy. And as he was running, he was shaking the potion, and he's gonna pop it, and he's gonna aim towards
Soda popping.
the blood sculptor,
Yeah.
Fireball.
Okay, attack roll.
That is a 24.
Alright. That's gonna hit.
20 damage.
20 points of damage. Alright, she's gonna use her bond of mutual suffering. So you take 20 damage in return. As the damage strikes in, you see like a blood cord take the shape of like a blood dragon, and it just whooshes right back into you, and it's 20 necrotic damage as it like bites into your neck.
Is Ross still up?
Oh no.
At least you're not afraid anymore.
At least I'm not afraid of her. Yes, I'm
Alright.
unconscious. So it runs down.
Oh no.
Silver lining, right?
Oh, that was -1.
Okay.
-1.
So
No.
that would have been. You see her like waver for a second, and then you see like her eyes become like glowing iron gray, and she just like snaps back into attention. She used her undying will and pushed through.
That's it for Ren. He can't command the beef. He's unconscious.
He's down, bud. All right.
They would have, if it was like undead, they pull through, they would have died otherwise, yeah.
All right. Although she isn't undead.
Yeah, things like undead.
All right. So this thing is afraid of the fire net that's like going on here. So it's going to just fly over to Flo and attack from there.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
thought
know.
that was more useful when we were all standing there.
Fair.
I mean, it did its job then.
Yeah, I did good.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So it's going to land, and as it lands, the guy on top immediately is going to make an attack. His longsword, natural 20.
Yeah, that'll do
Things
her.
are changing and not in a good way.
8 plus 1 plus 6.
I'd join you guys standing, but I can't see anything anyway.
All right, so that's going to be 15 points of damage, and he's going to use his martial advantage.
Can I use?
So that's going to be another 14 points of damage. So it's going to be 29 points of
I'm
damage.
a parry something.
Okay, go ahead and parry.
Hopefully. So I use a superiority die.
So you can see the like as he cuts through you, the wound begins to like immediately like widen. So he's like cutting and it's like
Probably not good.
probably not.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I need to do a concentration check for the creature there.
Okay, so
She
I have
passes.
8 points that go away from that.
Okay, so it was 29 minus 8, so 21 points of damage.
21.
All right, that was his reaction as he got into position.
Oh,
Now the Komodo
jeez.
wyvern's going to attack you.
Oh, jeez.
You're getting got.
So it is going to go ahead and use its. Let's see. It will go ahead and use its bite on you.
Okay.
13 to hit.
No.
Okay. And then it's going to go ahead and use its tail stinger.
Dodge it.
10 to hit.
No.
All right. So as it
did.
swoops in, and then just like
Exactly.
towards the sand, it's like landed into your position. It was like fighting. And he has at this point dismounted, so he's off and on his next to you on his own.
Hide under the wagon.
All right.
Highly recommended.
It worked so well for you.
Not
So we
so
go.
knocked unconscious.
All right. Go ahead. Let's see. That's it for that round.
I say highly recommended, but I kept on getting knocked unconscious under the wagon too, so maybe don't.
Oh no.
Okay. So that's it for their turn. So now Tennille, then Netka.
Oh boy.
Well, it'll be Tennille, then... No, Tennille, then Netka.
Can my spiritual weapon get to her? Is that 20 feet?
Oh, actually,
she's
I'm sorry,
too
Tennille. One other thing that I did miss. End of Blood Sculptor's turn, command the creature. So it is going to make its attack with advantage on Anetka because you're frightened.
Oh, yeah, never actually attacked.
Yeah.
Wait, no, didn't it scream?
Yeah.
This past round?
Well, when she had screamed when she summoned it.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
was the round before this one, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But did you do your attack?
I haven't acted. I don't think he's acted.
But you
either.
held your action.
You held your action, so you should get a chance to... No, you did attack it. I have it. You did 12 damage to it.
Yeah, so I held
Okay.
action.
Yeah. His turn isn't yet. Your guys' turns aren't actually coming around yet. But it has its turn. So it's going to attack with advantage. It's going to go ahead and do its Chilling Rend on Anetka with advantage. That's going to be a 17 plus spell attack modifier, which is 421.
That is.
Okay.
Like, 17, fine, I can shield.
Alright, so that's going to be 13 points of cold damage. Alright, now, Tennille, sorry, it is your go.
No worries. Okay.
Is it 20 feet to be able to reach the gal on top? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
It is not. This
It's
thing
not.
has a 60-foot flying speed, so
Okay.
it probably flew at least 35 to 40.
Okay. No worries. Is it within 120 feet of where Tennille currently is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then he is going to kind of move off this way a bit so that he's not looking at the thing that is terrifying him. Kind
Okay.
of like over here by Navarax a bit. Ah! Bee! Sorry. Sorry, Bee.
That's okay.
And just say, I'll get you in a second, Grandpa! And kind of hold out his hand, like both of his hands, with the rapier, or actually, yeah, sword shield hand, we'll just say he kind of like holds them, and points up, and says a word in what sounds like Elvish, but is kind of off, it's in Verdant, and says, arise, and the kind of like lightning-y ball effect, and summon a beast.
Okay.
Spirit at 3rd level.
At 3rd level,
Nice.
alright. How high up are you summoning it? 'Cause are you doing a flying or?
I'm doing a
ground?
flying.
I'm assuming you're doing a flying.
I'm doing flying.
Make it
So
not
I can
flying.
summon it within 60 feet of where I am, and so basically it has 60 feet of movement. I want it to get it to her
Okay,
between those two things.
We'll use this dragon model,
Okay.
'cause that's cool. And also because it's what I have. So.
Okay. And just a clarifying point, because I don't know if I'm reading this well, right? The HP is +5 per spell level, so, or is it +5 per level above what it's normally at?
I believe it's above normal level.
Okay.
So you cast it at, it's a 2nd level spell, Summon Beast.
Yes.
And it's +5 for each spell level above 2nd, so it would be 1 level above 2nd, so
25.
you're at 25. So you're at, yeah.
Okay, but the AC is just 11 plus whatever the spell level was.
Yep, which is, so the AC will be 11 plus 3, 14.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I had that right before I do anything.
That's correct.
All right. So it's going to go right up to her, and it's going to do 3 multi attacks because it has 3. Because it was 3, or is it number of attacks equals the spell level you summoned it at?
Equal to half the spell's level rounded down, so you get 1.
I get 1. Boo. Okay, that's all right. Well, it's going to attack.
3 attacks already, that's crazy.
Well, it's going to attack her.
Oh guys, that's crazy. Oh no, my God.
Oh.
Alright, go for it. Get him.
What is? I'm sorry.
You're used to it.
Oh my gosh.
Modifier.
Next
Okay.
character idea. That's all they talk.
That's a 10.
They don't speak
10,
common.
unfortunately, does not hit.
Alright, so that is it for my action.
Okay.
Bonus action. I'm just gonna make the spiritual weapon like move 20 feet in her direction. That's all I can do.
Okay.
And that's all. That's it for me.
Alrighty. Alright, so that's it for Tennille. Anetka, you're up.
Am I within 30 feet of our new friend?
You are not.
Okay,
So that's closer to 40 feet.
40 feet. Well, I'm so scared of this thing, I am gonna run away about 10 feet.
Okay, so that's going to provoke an attack of opportunity
Yes.
if you're leaving its space, which it gets
Yeah.
at advantage because you're frightened. That's the same roll as before, so it's going to be a 21 to hit. And you take 18 points of cold damage.
Oh, she's
Woo!
You're still up?
Yeah,
For us.
I'm
it's
the
like-
tank.
it's like-
Okay,
it's like 6 offensive then.
so, Slate, you'd probably be the one close enough. you see Anetka, you see, she's frightened of this thing, she gets injured. You suddenly see a look on her face as she looks over to our new friend, like you've seen before, a look of weird intellectual curiosity. And she makes a motion towards you, and suddenly you're wearing a sweater. But it's like a really big sweater, like way too big even for your giant form. And then, should you consent to this, and you are twice the height you are now.
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh my
Great.
god.
Extra low.
Now
So we
Rax is
have-
like looking at the little like tendrils of knitting, like, what is this, wizard?
And
Heck
you
yes.
get an extra d4 damage to all weapon attacks and have advantage on strength saving throws.
At this height, I'm also going to say you get 5 feet of extra reach.
He was a little big.
Heck
Because you're a big dude now.
yeah.
So you guys see at the
Heck
center this
yeah.
enormous, gigantic, like, not quite the same height, but probably like shoulder height to the storm giant you guys were speaking for.
Oh my
With
God.
Clemere.
Yeah.
So you see, and his weapons have grown to match. So he's got this enormous glaive in 2 hands that he's ready to like plow a field with here.
I like that you know me well enough to already have the model.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah.
Okay, and she's gonna remind me what this structure is.
10 feet per level. It's the inside of the front part of the ship.
Okay, she'll just scooch in a little since she still has some movement.
Got it.
And that is it for my
oh
turn.
my gosh, amazing.
Brilliant. Okay, that's it for Anetka.
That's pretty cool.
Now it's Navarax's turn.
Alright, so at this point I am like 20 feet tall, 25 feet tall? like,
20, because you were 6 feet. Did you
6,
jump?
12, 24.
24.
Okay,
And
I have a reach of 15 now. You said
Yep.
extra 5,
Yeah.
so that's
So you got 40
40
feet.
feet. How high is this guy?
40 feet.
And this person is riding this?
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question. If I attempt to, like, if I were to use a shove action, would that separate them? Like, pull one off?
Depending on the success.
If it, okay,
Yeah, it'd be like a swat.
gotcha.
With the glaive.
she also looks, I think, isn't she a
Yeah.
lot for wear?
So looking at her, you actually see it looks like the tattoos are like alive and writhing beneath her skin, and you see like she's crying like tears of blood that are running down her whole body. And as they do, they seem to like almost suspend into droplets around her.
Tails all
I was gonna say she's not having a good time, but she sounds like she might be having a good time.
She might be into that. Okay, then I guess I am going to move over to these people. Stop.
I'm delighted with this.
So there's huge dragon claw foot marks that are.
Heck
Work
yes.
that freaking Godzilla out.
So with that, I am going to. Oh, actually, how far from this position? How far could I get, kind of like in this area?
So to clarify positioning, we're running out of board space to really
Sure.
make this clear, but these guys have moved up. So they're like in position around their defensive lines to meet the cavalry. But
Would
that
I be able to
battlefield looks
get,
like it's going well.
here-ish?
Yeah, I'd say
Okay.
so.
So I'll do that.
There's not really rules for being huge, but I'm going to say you can safely step over your buddy.
Sure. Okay. So as I'm running over or stomping over step by step, I come with my glaive just kind of like overhand and come slashing down to do an attack on the.
The rider or the mount?
We're gonna do the mount.
Okay, attack roll.
Yeah.
17, 6, 23.
23 on the mount, that definitely hits.
Okay, and
Normal damage plus a d4.
plus a d4.
Oh my gosh. Got all the shinies.
So that's 5, 10, 15. I'll re-roll this one with my, or can I re-roll the d4 with my great weapon thing?
No, that's not the weapon dice.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's 17 plus 3 is 20 damage.
20 damage on the mount, wow.
Woohoo!
That's a hefty bonk.
Yeah, so you just like, you hear like, ow! And a whole bunch of like dagger feathers go flying out towards, and it's like a little deadly rain that's coming down below it, like.
Oh jeez.
Sleep
Luckily,
So many daggers.
luckily, Haranja is just sort of like, so she like ducks a whole bunch of them underneath. All right, it's
Okay.
still standing though, but it is looking hurt.
Okay, with my bonus action,
Bonus action. Okay.
so I'm going to use my fire rune.
Okay.
So that's a strength saving throw.
Okay.
15.
On the flying dagger crane. Strength saving throw, right?
Yep.
DC 15. I got exactly a 15, unfortunately.
Ah, boo. Okay. So you kind of like see his glaive like glowing red and fire, but it just kind of like swings a little past. And then with my second attack, I am going to
Get him.
Oh, get him?
okay. So as his glaive attack misses, he kind of comes spinning around and his mouth opens up and he just takes in a deep breath. And as he comes landing back down, he breathes out on both of these two.
Sweet.
And
In my spirit.
this is going to be
Yeah, he's gonna take it too. These are deck saves, right?
this is a strength save. I'm doing repulsion breath.
Oh, repulsion breath.
You got-
Okay.
Oh no, sorry.
You're gonna eat those birds.
No, other direction. Yeah, I want to do the con save, an enervating breath.
Enervating breath. Okay.
DC 15 con.
DC 15 con. All right. So for the caster, her first. That's gonna be a 14. And for the dagger crane, that is gonna be a 5.
Oh,
So now they're both
So
incapacitated.
you pass. So both are incapacitated. Let me read. Incapacitated is can't take actions or reactions. So its speed isn't reduced to 0. But what I would say is they both have this like. So it's like a gas that you're releasing. That's like a soporific effect, like a sleeping effect to them. And they both sort of like wobble and get disoriented and stuff like that. It's not really clear if you lose concentration, but because it says you can't take actions or reactions. I'm going to say it does clear concentration. To me, incapacitated means you can't focus your mind.
Sure.
So this thing just collapses into a puddle of blood.
Woo! Good.
That means y'all aren't feared either.
Woo!
You're still technically frightened, but there's nothing that you're frightened of, so it doesn't really count. But yeah, so you definitely succeeded. They sort of like hovering, like it's just sort of like flapping its metal. It's like, and the rider on front seems to like be slumped forward and hugging the neck. Sweet. All right,
And I didn't use my bonus action, right?
you did. You did it to do the fire rune.
Does that count as a bonus action?
I believe so. You tell me.
Yeah, just like that.
Oh, it just says other. Action type special. When you hit a creature with an attack using a weapon, you can invoke the rune to summon fiery shackles. So
Okay.
it's kind of like linked into
Yeah,
my.
that is part of the thing. So no bonus action needed.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my bonus action, and after the breath, I kind of like turn my glaive around and kind of reach forward to bonk the. I'll do the mount.
Okay, attack roll.
Give him a ball.
So 10. Sorry. Nope.
No ball.
Unfortunately, no, that does not hit.
Or incapacitated doesn't grant.
It doesn't grant advantage, yeah. To me, incapacitated seems like you're almost like paralyzed, but rules as written, it's just no actions and no reactions. So I'm going to say no advantage, but it did break concentration.
Woo!
Which is definitely something.
Yeah.
And she can't take actions. So that's not nothing.
Yeah, so can I test against that? Is that the recurring test to break out of it? Or is it for the round?
It's just for the round.
Okay, thank you. That's
yeah,
all I
yeah.
need to know. Okay, so that's it for Never Acts. Next would have been the Flying Dagger Crane, but it's incapacitated. So Slate, you're up. Next on deck is going to be Flo, the top there.
Excellent, excellent.
How does Slate feel about seeing this extra big boy?
He ain't got no.
No,
He's the one with size issues, not me. Oh.
There's good back.
It's like, wait, where'd it go? Nicholas, do you remember if we decided you need to have enough counters to actually activate the tattoo, like the first effect of it, or can you activate it with the passive if you don't have enough?
I believe you have to have the counters.
Okay, then I cannot do that.
But you did get a counter for hitting the creature on your reaction, so you're at 2.
Yeah, a little. Are we said we're on the 3-6-9 swing now? Further mine, I think.
I believe so, yeah. I'll have to check the upper levels. I might have high gated the third tier. But yeah, it's 3 to entry.
Okay, well, still not there, so it doesn't matter. I will. I guess we'll just have to do this old-fashioned way. So if I were to like, how could I make a jump? Like try and get on this?
Sure. I'll allow it. I'll say it's your bonus action to do the like leap off because you're like pushing off.
Okay.
But for me, go ahead and make either a acrobatics or athletics check for the check of choice to jump on this.
Do you have the silky scarf?
I don't know.
I gave you the silken sash of light.
If you did, I didn't know you did.
Yeah.
I don't have it,
I
so-
gave it to you, so
Did you get the card?
I
don't know.
gave.
10. That'll be 14.
14? Yeah. So I'll say this is going to be a second check because your roll wasn't perfect.
Sure.
So now this is going to be an acrobatics check to push off and aim your thing. So you've landed on the top. So go ahead and do, and this is your full movement, by the way.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do a follow-up check for
Actually, that'd be 17.
17. Okay.
Okay.
17 above 15, which is kind of my DC in my mind. So I'll say you can do it and just bonus action push off, no check required.
Okay. And then time to start swinging.
Okay.
For cool factor, like can I, ditch the shield, draw my thieves' tools.
Sure, definitely. I'll say since you're leaping off an object, I'll give you advantage on your first attack. Who are you attacking here? You've got the wyvern and the Komodo wyvern and the guy.
Since I'm coming down from up top, I'll attack the guy.
Okay.
Get the guy.
Wow. That will be a total of, how much tools is that? So that'll be 15?
15 does not hit.
7 and 4.
Off the side, and that blade just cleaves
That
into
is
the dirt.
unfortunate.
Do we want to move Slate's character, if someone can, please, at least on the side? Just find a space for him. It's not hugely imperative.
He's just over there.
He's there.
There we go.
And
Okay.
then I take another swing.
You can.
Swing.
Still on the guy?
Yeah. Wow.
7 again.
So another miss.
Okay, unfortunately not. You can see he's wearing a very nice set of armor, and it seems to have that same creature's like two-face on its breastplate. It looks like he's wearing a suit of half-plate armor.
Got it.
Alrighty, that's it for Slate's turn.
Everything. Oh.
Alright,
I'm a big dumb. I have bless.
okay,
You're bold. That was a bold move.
Both of them were 7s.
okay. So
So-
D4 on the first one.
So 15 total before. Plus 3 to 18.
18 does hit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so
Alrighty.
sorry. I'm dumb.
Okay, attack, so 2d6 for the damage.
7 plus 4. 11 points of damage
Okay, got it.
on the guy. And then,
Second,
let's see, the other D4 would have resulted in to 19.
also hits.
Nice.
That boldness, let me
Nice.
tell you.
Get that, yeah.
Bold and
You're
brash.
bold.
Indeed. That'll be 10 more.
10 more,
Heck
alright.
yeah.
So with a huge cleaving strike, you just feel like emboldened and the taste of blueberry zings in your mouth as you strike down and you just carve through, kind of hitting the points where his armor doesn't protect. You feels like it's like highlighted in like blue light for you as you're like striking around. It sparkles, and you're able to make the strikes. He looks like he's got a lot of fight in him, but you did hurt him.
Good job. Good
God
job
is my
remembering.
witness,
for
he
the-
is broken in half.
Alrighty, so top of the round will be Flo, but I'm just going to describe how the combats are going for these other sides. The side of the Stormscales clearly seems to be going well. They have lost a couple lizards from the combined volleys, but at this stage, Aerosmira is bolting through in the air on her wings, just like ultra fast, almost like blinking with lightning as she's moving, and you see her absolutely tear into the Dynasty warriors there. She's breathing like a cloud of electricity as she's like carving through with this spear that she's got that also seems to be timed with a sort of like gray and blue light. So she's actually carved up a couple of them already, and so that's how that side of the fight is going. In general, they're losing a few. They've lost a couple Dragonborn, lost a couple lizards, but the fight seems to be going well overall on that side. The discipline of the formation has definitely lended itself to like accuracy with the firing and some more like deadly art marksmanship, but it's starting to come apart now as they've got a flying half dragon who's breathing cones of lightning and is moving faster than their mounts and stuff like that. So really disconcerting there. Over here, you guys don't have a great line of sight or vantage, except for Godzilla over here. Navarax can see that the situation seems to be that these individuals have extracted gas and are loading them up onto the vultures.
Don't like that.
Flame with the gas.
And so that seems to be what they're focused on. Over here, at this stage, the Galvadillo has been slain, and the cart has sort of been upturned.
Not the Galvadillo.
Rest in peace.
And so they're like scattered and are now being surrounded. A couple more of these individuals have gone. The lesser of the more like bone-beaked creatures. Those are all down, and now it seems like they're engaging with a volley of javelin fire from other individuals. At this stage, you also would be able to tell that 2 additional, maybe a flying patrol of some kind, has swooped in from behind. So the Hestapha tribe seems to be losing. No, it's okay. Losing on a sort of numbers front now at this stage. Half the troops aren't even engaged, but there's just so many of them, and they're all like hucking javelins at them and stuff like that. They're standing for now, but it looks like that's more of a struggle. The gas is currently being loaded in these big canister kind of situations that look especially prepared for it. The individuals there have they have huge syringes basically that they're pulling back, and you can actually see the gas bladders like wobble and deflate. It's like, as they get sort of pushed in, and then they're sort of like through the cork seal type situation, injecting the gas into these canisters. It's a little more complicated like that, but you're clearly seeing them transfer it. So that's the general gist of how the battle is going.
How big are the canisters?
Large enough that they clearly seem to be encumbering the vultures as they're being loaded on. They're about 6 feet tall. The cylindrical. All right, Flo. Seeing all that, you're up first. You got this guy in the middle. Slate, your bestie, has jumped down to come help you, but you've got a giant Komodo wyvern and some kind of serious commander warrior type who's in your face. So what are you doing?
Okay, they're still looking pretty like,
They got some health.
Okay, pull out my jar of dirt.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and also do an action surge.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna go at each the wyvern and the guy that came in on him.
Okay. So
And
what?
it's a DC 10 charisma saving throw.
Or else they are.
Or else they're charmed by me and they have an urge to bequeath me flowers, give me massages, and tell jokes to make me laugh.
Okay. So the
Please fail.
Komodo wyvern.
I really want the Komodo wyvern to try to give
it
you
got
a
an
massage.
11.
Oh, dang it.
Unfortunately, and the other guy, he's also gonna pass with a 13.
Dang it.
Well, that was
I
kinda
have a
close
feeling.
to-
So this like pink and yellow dust and then just sort of like and just like sneeze it out and push away. But he's still like, you can see this guy has like cracks of bloody veins in his sclera of his eyes, but also like extending through the temples and stuff like that. So you can see this guy is no joke.
Okay, well, I'm gonna disengage as my bonus action.
Okay, very nice. So you just sort of like do that and then just like tumble backward. Very jester-esque in appropriateness with your studded leather armor.
And I'm gonna come in, I guess, to this area. Like, I want to use all 30 feet of my movement.
Okay, 30 feet is not going to get you quite so far.
Okay. I could also go this way. I just don't know how far I'm allowed.
30 feet will get you here.
Okay.
I don't take it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Alrighty, so it's action surge, and bonus action, so
Yep.
that is your turn. Alrighty, so from there is going to be the Dynasty Inquisitor, who, seeing and being slashed by Slate, is going to turn and engage with his charged up blades, now having his 3 attacks at the ready.
And
Before he does...
you do have the sash. I don't know what happened to the card, but I gave it to
I'll
you.
need to double check then.
Yeah. Because when
Alright.
I destroyed the feather, I like gave you the sash of flight since I destroyed the feather.
He's going to bonus action cast Blood Curse of the Marked on you.
Oh.
There's no thing, he just gets advantage on the next attack against you. So as he does it, a sort of shadowy blood red serpent flings off his sword and just like wreathes around your neck and sort of like coils inward, and then he's like striking towards that point. All right, so first attack with advantage. That is going to be a here. Okay, that's going to be a 16 to hit.
Miss.
Miss.
Yep.
Really? I thought you
Breastplate.
What?
Half plate.
You're in half plate now.
Whatever the
Just plate.
Just
Just
plate.
plate.
Breastplate.
He's a
one of the
breastplate.
plates.
Okay. What's your AC?
17.
Without the shield.
Without the shield.
Nice. Good for you, man. So that's the next attack. Next attack roll made against it. So that one, in addition. Okay, so that's the other attack. Okay, so then he's gonna just swing with his other sword attack. Boy, this guy's not going well. Natural 2, never fail. And then his offhand with his long sword or short sword. Another natural 2.
boy.
So what happens is this guy like sets his mark, and then just like some lingering dust, just like he's like, and just and just his like his swings go wild, and you can see he's got just like bloody murder literally in his eyes, but unfortunately no success from him. All right, so we still have the incapacitated blood sculptor, and that effect now will go away starting your next round, but she misses her current round. So that's it for her turn. So next is Haranja, and she is going to, seeing that the situation is possibly handled, she is going to move out and head this direction and fling another one of her shuriken at this guy. Oh, unfortunately, that's not going to hit. That is only going to be a...
Nicholas rolling poor over there.
Yeah, it's only going to be a 15, and so you see the green sort of paper shuriken go flying past, but unfortunately no success. She is, however, going to command her existing bird to attack the blood sculptor.
I gave you a health potion.
So that is going to be 10 plus 5, 15 to hit, which is exactly what we needed. And that is going to be a, what is summon beast? D8?
Yeah, it's a D8.
Yeah, it's D8 plus the modifier, right? Oh, the spell level.
Yeah.
Right. So that is going to be a total of 10 points of damage. So she has got to take her Undying Will test, which she passes. So she's still standing even as the thing claws into her with its like paper cutting talons. Unfortunately, is not successful. All right, so that's it for Haranja. Next up is going to be, I said it right that time, right? Yes. Next is going to be Renostus with Komodo Wyvern, then Tennille, and then Anetka.
Death saving throw.
All right, that's right. You are in that state. Okay. So you've been downed. You got downed by what effect again?
When she did I shot a firebolt at the sculptor and she turned it back on me.
That's right. So the like bloody dragon that like clawed around your neck is there, but it seems to like be less tight.
Okay.
All right, that's it for Renostus. So Komodo Wyvern is going to hopefully redeem its rider as it rakes into slate with its bite first, and then its stinger. All right, so the bite is going to be a 20 total to hit.
Yeah.
All right, let's flip to that page. You need to make a Constitution saving throw, please. Alright, so you take 9 points, 9 plus... What the heck is wrong with me? You take 11 points of piercing damage. What was your total?
16.
16's a pass. But you definitely feel like a stench coming from its mouth, a stench of like rotted meat. Alright, then its tail stinger is going to go on you. That one looks like it's going to miss with a total of an 11.
Yes, sir.
So unfortunately, I'm not rolling well for their sides. This fight's a lot easier. Well, good for you.
We'll take it.
Okay, that's it for that. So that cuts that turn. So Neil, you're up with Netcon deck.
Well, I'm going to run under the bee and run past Grandpa and kind of move closer to Slate because I can feel the bond between us kind of tugging a bit. And as I run past Grandpa, I'm going to cast Healing Word on him at first level for a whopping 5 back because I rolled a 1.
All right, positive 5 for Grandpa though.
Thank you. And then I'm going to look up at the blood sculptor and toll the dead at her.
Okay, so that's a wisdom save.
So wisdom save for her.
That is going to be a 16.
She passes.
Alright.
But then my spirit beast, my flying.
Butterbird.
My butterbird. He's just very round, like a butterball. Is going to attack her.
It's like a flying porg from Star Wars.
He is going to attack her.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 12.
Unfortunately not. The robe and some of her Maori sort of tattoos and the blood particles suspending turn into sort of like a grasping claw that like suspends the incoming attack. All right, that's it for your turn.
That's it for me.
All right, Aneka, you're up.
Okay. So you said.
Neverax is on deck.
So did you say each of these was 10 feet or 20 feet?
They're 10 feet spaces. They're
Okay.
a little higher than 10 feet, but there's no stairs.
There's no stairs.
Mm-mm.
Well, I don't need stairs to do this. So Anetka will kind of step back a bit, look about at a space on a building here, and you see it's like her skin, like she's suddenly almost transformed to look like she's like a knitted doll, and then the yarn starts unraveling, and then up here the yarn starts knitting together, then
So
Misty Step.
I love it.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
so cool.
That's
All right.
awesome.
I'll give you inspiration for that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so up here you're seeing the like front end of the ship. Whatever the like, I'm forgetting the name, but the like, what's the name for like the lady at the front of the ship?
Masthead?
The masthead, thank you, seems to have been torn off in the crash, and another smaller mast itself seems to have cracked off this and landed on what looks like a ballista of some kind, as evidenced by what's in front of you there. But there seems to be a functional ballista on the other side there.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Functional ballista.
Functional. I would like to, since that was my bonus action, can I attempt to use the ballista?
You can. It's not loaded at the moment, but you do see what looks like in a secured. So there's a bunch of things that I'm going to skip past detail-wise, but because you're in the midst of a combat. But you do see as you're looking what looks like a secured iron mesh, like sack next to it. It's secured to the deck, and inside seem to be, instead of like ballista bolts, seem to be large, almost like bowling ball sized ball bearings with like a diamond blade pattern to them, and they're in pairs tethered together with a metal thread.
Ooh.
So it would be an action to load it and then an action to fire it.
Well, I essentially have a. Actually, since that would take 2 actions, if I walked over to this edge, would I be within 60 feet of the
The wyvern?
wyvern and the guy?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so I will do that, and I will pull some of the dye from my sweater and cast Acid Splash on both of them. That'll be...
Yeah, I'm just gonna back you up a little bit because this is not 30
Okay.
feet wide. This is closer to like 40 feet, so you're gonna be around here. But I'll still give you the shot.
Okay, so that will
Cycling the dog in your space.
be a dexterity saving throw.
For each of them, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so his dex save is going to be a total of a... Where are we? He's going to have a... 2 plus his... plus 3, so 16.
16, yeah, that succeeds.
Okay, and the wyvern, I didn't write his proficiency bonus into this thing, which is why I had to do some quick math. And then the wyvern got a 12.
That is a fail. That'll
Okay.
be 6 points of acid damage.
Alright, first damage on the wyvern. Alright, that's it for your turn?
Yep.
Super cool. Alright, I love it. So that's it for Anetka. So Navarax, the giant, is going, and then it'll be Flying Dagger Crane, which gets skipped, and then it's... Oh, actually...
Is that this guy?
Yeah.
No, he'll get to move again.
You'll get to
Once
move
I
again,
finish my
because it's
turn,
come back to
those
your
two.
turn, right? Yeah, yeah. Okay,
The
so...
answer is you just need to kill it.
So your turn, and then it'll be Dagger Crane, then Slate.
So, real quick, the last turn you made, who did you go against?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, against the
This
rider.
The rider.
You went against
I've
the
been
rider.
going against the rider.
Did you-
So did the summoned
Yeah.
Origami Hawk.
Okay.
I had so much fun making those, like...
Very
like,
cool.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
just pat myself on the back. Try not to strain my arm.
Okay, so Navarax is gonna kind of grab his glaive and he's just gonna wind up a big kind of like swing with it, and you hear him taking a deep breath as he's doing it, and then he tries to hit the mount again.
Okay, attack roll.
The 8 plus.
That's a
6.
d12, one dice.
Oh, one dice. Whoops. They look the same way. 19 plus 6, 25.
25 definitely hits.
Okay. And then that would be
The higher armor ones too, because it's all metal.
D10 plus. That's.
D10 plus D6 plus D4.
Yep. So 10 for. This is a hit attack dice, so I'll re-roll it. It's a
Yep.
1. 1 again. So that's 15 plus 3 is 18 points of damage.
Boy.
18 points of damage.
Woohoo!
That's enough to do it, man.
Heck
All
yeah.
right, so you had already carved through a piece of this, and you just like put your glaive into position and just, and like half of its torso plus the wing just comes in this like metallic and bloody shattering noise as the line of like bloody Maori tattoo of where it like attached to the wing on all the daggers seems to like come loose, and it just seems to like fall apart, almost like it was a construct. And basically, like a hairless or a featherless bird just drops naked to the floor.
Oh my god.
What have we done? On top of that, Ryder on top is going to fall 40 feet. So is going to take a d6 of damage per 10 feet dropped. So that's 4d6. 3, 4. So that's going to be 9, 10, 11 points. And so she has to make another Undying Will save.
Keeps hanging on.
Nope, that's gonna do it. So she
yeah.
falls. So amidst all of this, like the wreckage of her work is falling around her, and as she like hits the ground, her body just gets impaled by feather after feather after feather, and she just gets like pin-cushioned like a butterfly to a card. Down she goes.
Go here.
Alrighty, so very nice. First kill.
Putting in the work.
He did the first kill. He killed the.
No, first. Yeah, I guess it's true. Yeah. He did.
Yeah. It's just killing everything.
He is.
You know.
All right, he's a big boy.
Okay.
So that was one attack.
Yes.
Oh my
So
god.
as he spins around after the glaive, he comes back and he just like you see little flames out of his mouth, and he just kind of like and like kind of like has a little indigestion, like burps a little bit. Okay.
He's a frost burp.
Okay.
He's frost, right? Figure.
Yeah. So I guess everybody's over here now. These guys, this is the origami ladies.
Yep, that's correct.
This lady is dead.
Yes, that's
And
right.
then these two are Tennille's.
Yeah. Tennille's got a lot of summons today.
Okay. I just
Big
got
guy.
a little
How does it
trash.
feel, Tennille? Summoning a lot of things, making the map complicated.
I don't know how you did it. Like, I just got the one. It's like, oh, this is too much.
Right, you're gonna
Math
move.
and perseverance.
Yeah, I guess at this point all I can really do is move, so I'll start
30 feet is
stomping my way over that way.
Here.
Does he have more movement since he's bigger?
Renosis gets to see.
There's no rules for it. I may consider it
His
as like
farming
a
expands
he
too.
gets
He's
movement.
farming.
I'm being really generous with his distance, but also I'm being
Yeah.
generous with him.
I was
being
just
able to
curious
ignore
from
like
a-
all terrain.
I didn't know what the rules
There's
were.
no
around
rules
it.
for huge sized characters because
Okay.
normally there's nothing unless
Interesting.
you transform into something that is already sized huge via like polymorph where it has its own stats.
Okay.
There's nothing that like boosts your own stats. That's why I added the reach. That's not part of the game.
Yeah.
I would probably say you have another like 10 feet of movement because your legs are the size of your body was before. So if you want to, you can get to like here.
How far away am I from the party over there?
From
The angry guy and his wyvern.
about at least 20 feet.
Okay, still out of my
So
reach.
still out of your reach, but I'm just gonna put you here for now.
I just realized there's a person in his hand.
I'm sorry?
There's a
Yeah,
person
the model has a
in the
person
model.
in his hand. In old school Warhammer, you could pick up a part of the unit and throw it back into the unit.
Oh my god.
How far did you say away they were?
About 20, 25 feet, depending on who you're going for.
Okay. I end my turn.
Okay. So that's it for Neverax. That they're off the board here. The Blood Sculptor and the Flying Dagger Crane are both dead. So that means it's Slate's turn.
Okay, okay. Do I get any benefit from that yet? No. So I will just, seeing how spooky the wyvern is, and the other guy is, I'm gonna go back to my sword and shield here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take some swings at the guy.
Go for it. Sword and board.
Yeah.
So you're at 3 now, aren't you?
I'm at
4. Okay.
So we're I want to see see what happens.
Cool.
That is probably gonna hit with a 22.
Oh yeah.
This is a D8 again. That's gonna be 9 points of damage.
9 points. Okay.
5.
He's looking hurt. It's hard to tell because he got so much blood just like willingly on him.
Yes.
But he's
like,
he's
"Are you
looking
hurt? Are
he's
you-"
looking like he's like slowing down. Is what I
Okay.
Bro, you live like this?
Take a bath. Jeez.
So I will swing again.
Okay.
And that one is going to miss with a natural 3.
Unfortunately, yeah. This time he's ready for it and parries it aside.
And I have no bonus action to speak of. So
Okay. Alrighty, so that's it for your turn. So, next is top of the round with Flo. I'm just going to, again, describe the state of the battle here. This is round 3, I believe, of combat. Let's see, we have that.
this is the start of round 4.
This is start around 4.
Wait.
Until 4.
How long is big thing
You can tell
It's a minute.
yeah, it's a minute, so 10 rounds.
in this? Okay,
Alrighty.
same as
Or, yeah, 10 rounds, or unless I drop or get knocked out of
Yeah.
concentration.
So you'll drop by 1 and then drop by another the next round because you did yours 1 round first. Alright, so these are starting to migrate with the gas here.
Not what we came for. I mean,
It's
it's
true.
it's money, but like
But if
It's a
they're
bonus
4
objective.
Arcturius,
At this stage, let's see, we've
does
got
the gas
2
blow up?
removed.
let's
I was
find
really
out.
considering
find
if he had shot lightning into the bladders, what would have happened?
These guys are
I'm
removed.
assuming it's helium, so it's inert.
And then
That's no fun. Let's make it magic explodey gas.
Haven't you had enough?
No! I played Balthier for 2 years or whatever. Never enough.
Alright, so this is just like a sea of various
Don't be a
corpses,
fireball.
mostly on the side of the Dynasty, who's clearly losing this part of the fight. Several Dragonborn have gone down, but the lizards and the... there seems to be what looks like a finned and scaled elf riding one of the dragon lizards. One of the horned lizards that seems to also be doing some sort of magic and has buffed and healed the allies in the course of this game. So in this fight, so they're clearly like winning and taking over this flank. The reverse is true here. They're being swamped, and actually at this point it is just Jiranya who is standing left.
Oh my god.
So only you can see this because you're super
Can
tall.
I see it too, since I'm
Yeah, actually you can. It's a
Yeah.
little far for you, but you can see it. At this stage, they have one of these has been taken down, one of the incoming reinforcements, and at this stage, and it's sort of the remaining ones joining the fray. But at this stage, you see Slates. Oh, sorry, Navarax, Godzilla, and Anetka. You see a individual who looks quite different, sort of pale white skin, white blue skin, floating hair, with also like bloody, almost like talon marks in the neck, wearing armor and bearing a two-sided blood-red javelin.
Heck no.
So Arcturius, for you, you recognize him, has joined this side of the fray, and mostly seems to be. This is the round that Jiranya would be slain. So at this point, he just straight through the neck with that side. He seems primarily focused, like he like swoops over and up and like surveys the battle and sees just like surprise giant who's also a dragon, and is clearly focused more on escorting the remaining guys off the board. So they're one turn away, it looks like, from like heading out of this battle entirely. They're more in this region. I'm just not going to invade all of Felina's space any more than I'm already doing. So that's what the surveying of the battle looks like from there. Flo, top of the round, you have disengaged. You're in this position now. So what are you going to do?
I probably can't see any of that.
Nope, you
So
cannot.
I would have no idea what's going on.
You do
there.
not know much of that at all.
But I see this bloody dude in front of me, so I'm gonna go ahead, and my bestie's next to him, right?
That's correct.
I'm gonna go in for some swipey swipes. with
Okay,
my
so you got to move
scimitars.
into position and then do that.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
I just
So you
don't
move
wanna,
back to where you were, basically.
Yeah. Well, I just want to go in like straight this way and
Okay.
attack.
Go ahead. Attack him.
Since I have a friend within 5 feet, I have advantage, right?
No, you don't have advantage, but if you land the strike, you have
I have sneak attack. Oh, okay.
Snap attack.
Advantage would be like attacking from stealth.
Yeah. Okay.
Surprise.
I'd
It's okay. You probably wouldn't be able to stealth right in front of him in the midst of
No.
the combat.
come on.
You can do it.
Okay, 18.
18 just hits. Go roll
Okay.
damage.
That's it.
With
So-
sneak attack.
One of them's my Salt Creep short sword, and one of them's my scimitar. But
Okay.
I don't have saltwater out, so there's no bonuses. But it is a magical
Okay.
weapon.
Sounds good.
And that's also a D6.
Even though D6 is evil.
Okay. 13 points for the first. Oh,
Okay.
12 points for the first.
Okay. So as he's
Oh,
engaging
13.
with
13.
Okay.
Sorry.
As he's engaging with Slate, you just
And
come
multiple
along the
numbers
back and just up the back side of like the hip region of where the armor seems to be attaching to like the leg plating.
Okay. And then since I hit him with a melee attack, I'm going to use my disengage and just pop back here.
Okay, as a freebie, yeah.
Yep. And then I'm going to use my bonus action second wind for a boost in hit points.
Okay. So D10 plus your fighter level of 3.
10 for
Nice.
13.
So 13 points of hit points back.
Okay.
All right, that's good for you. Next up is going to be the Inquisitor himself. So he is going to, at this stage, he's going to point to whip his blade so it's like pommel out towards Flo, and is going to cast Blood Curse of Binding. And you see like a series of blood red serpents like lash towards you. You need to go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
Oh no.
You got the.
I know what's happening.
Believe in you.
Oh, 17?
17? That might be the
I rolled
highest
a
strength.
19.
Oh my gosh. Alright, so a whole bunch of like bloody snakes come to try and like wrap around your feet. And with your like pirates acrobatics, you just do like a 1-2 like kind of dancey movement and then push off as they like and just like snare into the dirt and disappear into like a pile of blood. Alright, that's it for his bonus action. His action is going to be to attack Slate 3 times. First one. That finally I'm going to start hitting. Second one misses, but first one's going to hit you with a 23.
A little bit.
Yeah, so it's D8 plus D6 plus 3D6 because he's going to use martial advantage. There it is. All right, so 5 points of slashing damage, 1 point of necrotic damage, and another 16 of slashing. So that's 21 slashing and 1 point of necrotic.
Okay, I'm going to
22 total.
use my reaction to use stones and durkins or whatever it was.
Sure.
Okay, that's pretty good. So that's 14 reduced from that.
Okay.
What did I say, 22?
22.
So down to
So 8.
6. 22?
You did 14, right?
Yes.
That'd be 8. Yeah. All right, and then his offhand. Jeez, only one around for 3 attacks. I rolled a 4.
Ouch.
All right, Wyvern, get him, boy. That's going to be a bite on to Slate's
I'm feeling
rump.
some...
That's going to be a 26 to hit. Go ahead and make a con saving throw.
I'm gonna break your
26.
butt. You're gonna break your butt, bud. Trust me, I know.
You're going to
Follow
take
that one up.
9 points of piercing damage.
Not one on the save.
Oh.
Okay, you're infected with Komodo rot.
Oh, right in the butt.
Do you have any inspiration?
No.
And you also take another 3 points of necrotic damage. And then here's a token for that. Here we go. Physical effect. Do you want to put that on Slate for me, please?
Yeah.
All right, and then its tail is going to go in on you.
How much was the damage from the last one?
An extra 3 points of necrotic damage, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, did you not know that the bite itself?
Yeah. 3 plus.
It was. I rolled low. It would have been I think 6 points.
So another 9 total. Okay.
Yeah. This one's going to be an 11 to hit, unfortunately. I keep rolling 4s. Oh. All right, that's it for their turn. So that's going to be Haranja is going to go ahead and close the distance onto, someone can move her please, onto the dude, and is going to try and attack him with her, she pulls out what looks like a dark maroon colored piece of paper folded into the shape of a sword, and she's going to try and put him up the back. That is going to hit with a 21. He needs to make a con saving throw. It's kind of cocked. He still fails it. So that is going to be 6 points of slashing, and then he is also going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. 76 points of poison damage.
Why is that
Glad we didn't make them an
15,
enemy.
20, 30, 31 points of poison damage. And even if he nat 20, his Undying Will would not, can't roll a 31. So she cuts him through, and all of the color drains out of the paper and goes into the wound and begins coloring his flesh, and he just begins to cough up a whole bunch of black gobs of really gelatinous blood. They come on in thick clods like Jello, and he just. All right, so he's dead. He's officially down. I'm just gonna drop him on the floor by Flo. All right, that's it for him. Damn, you guys are crushing this. Okay, that's it for Haranja. So next up is going to be Renasis. You just got revived. Tennille's on deck with a neck to follow.
So Renasis is laying there. She's just gonna look up at the sky for a little bit.
Why did I get out of bed this
He's
morning?
gonna reach in, pull out a bottle, put it back, pull out the same one. It's a bigger version of it. I'm gonna do second level Cure Wounds.
All right, here you go.
I love that.
Does it taste like tequila?
Oh, 100%. It's 2d8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus your modifier.
Yep. So that is 15 back.
Nice.
Nice.
And then
I'll give you inspiration for that description.
Heck yeah.
Maybe that.
then I'm gonna kind of just roll. I'm gonna find a nice spot on the flesh and just just sit.
All right.
It's like a nice cushion.
Make it comfy.
There's just a squelching kind of sound.
How did I get here?
It's pillowy rock flesh.
How do you do with the sand in your fur?
Huh?
How do you do with the sand in your fur?
It's
roll
all of it is sticking out because this is electrically charged sand. So he's a hedgehog with a grandpa.
And the bee will turn around and look at Renasis and be like.
Just the one little leg.
So the bee will go over here. Let's see. Can I get? I can see him. I've got.
Yeah, you got 30 feet of flame. You can just fly upward and see, so it'll be fine.
And I'm within 30 feet of him. Yes.
You can move to that. You'd
Okay.
have to move it a little further forward.
Okay.
But yes.
All right. I'm
you
gonna
can go
use
ahead and make
my.
your attack roll.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. All right.
It's got though.
Oh, please don't do that.
Oh
I'm still getting things on balance.
I think that's a 18.
18 does hit?
Yeah. Actually, that's a 20 total.
Okay.
And then that is 5 damage.
All right.
Damage. Yes.
Ready?
So I'm supposed to roll for a little bit.
Okay, that's it for Anasis.
Yeah.
Tennille, you're up. Netcon on deck. With Navarax to follow.
I'm sorry, but if I hit bumped it and I got a nat 20 and it knocked things over, it's still worth it.
I'm gonna try to move to the other side of Flo, and as I move it in that space, move through that space, I'm gonna guiding bolt at the wyvern.
Okay, so it's sideways running.
Yeah.
And then, okay.
So I'm trying to avoid the absurdly large. It's that dragonborn behind me.
Yes. It's through the legs.
18.
18 hits. Roll damage.
Woo!
So big boy is going to take
Was this first level, I'm assuming?
first level, yes.
Yeah, this big boy, not big boy.
Not dwarf boy. Eats 12, 15 radiant damage on the wyvern.
Alrighty, so the dark, emo-tinged gray, black, and purple light just strikes in and is going to cling to him in a sort of mist and cloudy kind of way that illuminates.
Right.
So the next attack on it has advantage.
If I keep forgetting, I haven't used that spell in a long time.
Alright.
And then as I do that, I'm gonna yell. Do I need to stay within 90 feet of my beast, my butterball?
Unless it specifies, no.
I don't think it does.
I don't think it says you have to be within a certain range to see it or like give
Okay.
a command. So
I'm gonna yell at it because it'll act with just based on my voice
Yeah.
command and say, "Go attack a vulture," and direct it to go attack the nearest vulture that I can't see, but it can see.
okay. Little butter drips just bloop, 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 as it flies over this direction. It's 60 feet movement or 30 feet movement?
60 feet of movement.
60 feet of movement. Okay, so it can attack a vulture.
Okay.
So it's going to go ahead and do an attack roll.
Okay.
Vulture or rider? There's a guy on top.
We're gonna do the vulture. I told us to attack
Okay.
vulture.
Yep.
Not 20!
Alright! Go ahead and roll damage. That's D8 doubled plus the spell's level of 3 plus 3.
Spells levels plus 4 because I think it's my wisdom modifier.
I think they just specified numbers. I could be wrong.
I have 4 written down, which I assume is my wisdom modifier.
Yeah, it's 1d8 plus literally just 4 plus the spell's level and piercing damage.
There we go.
Yep.
Alright, roll well, roll well. So that's 8 plus 4, 12 plus 3, 15 points of piercing damage.
Alright.
My
So-
little butterball did something. Finally!
Yay,
Woohoo!
So the attack, it just like goes in and this is sort of like a phantom spectrally type attack, so it's going to rip through it's almost like a big cat savaging an antelope as it's like fleeing, but a butterbird on a vulture.
Similar, right?
It's a 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Alright.
Correlation. Alright, that's it for Tennille. So Netka, you're up.
I assume all the vultures, that's well over 100 feet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna yell, Arcturus! And then scooch over here, and as she's yelling Arcturus, you see like the static from her knitting starting to come into her hands. Realizing she can't use it, she'll focus a lightning bolt down to the wyvern.
Alright, straight up lightning bolt on it.
Saving throw.
That's going to be a fail with a nat 6 for a total of 6.
Yeah, so my DC is indeed more than 6.
I would hope so. That would be pretty bad in store.
You have negative int as a wizard.
Yeah.
That would be tragic.
Oh goodness.
It's 8d6, so
Lightning bolts. Wizard. It's the
wiggity wazard.
Wiggity wizard, indeed.
A solid d6, basically.
No, it's
Who else is
literally.
within 5 feet of the wyvern here?
Oh.
Slate?
I'm here.
Are you wearing any metal armor?
He is resistant to lightning damage.
Nice.
That'll help.
Oh no. Didn't know that would happen. Probably would have done
Lightning
it
in the
anyway.
lightning desert.
Yeah, probably would have done it anyway, if I'm being real honest.
I mean,
Valkyr would have done this.
I bend my spells, unlike the rest of you.
Oh, that one slipped out. That one slipped out.
Holy tracks for the wizard. I'm going to throw a dagger at this poisoning floating ball of doom. Oh no, everyone's poisoned now. What
26
is
points of
this?
lightning damage to the wyvern.
6
I
points
did
of
one
damage.
instead of several.
Go ahead and add a total of 2d12.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh,
but
do I need to make a save? So
Well, it's like, okay, so it's a 3rd level spell. We'll do d10s instead, so it's 3d10.
3d10. Okay.
do I
Do you need some d10s?
I'm looking for my d10. I found my d10s. 3d10?
Yep. There's no save, you just take it.
Ah. Thanks.
But you're resistant.
And then 14. 20 points of lightning damage.
Okay, so you're going to take 10, and the wyvern's going to take an extra 20. So your total was 26.
Yes.
Actually, is that
So 46 points of lightning damage. 46 plus 26 is 72.
dead?
Nope, not dead.
Oh wow.
But still looking hurt. So your lightning bolt is normally like a 5 foot wide line. This time, as it's striking a point on the ground of the charged thing, it's like a reverse lance in that it gets wider as it gets closer to that space, almost like the ground is drawing it in. And then when it strikes and impacts, the like thunderclap actually creates this like crater and upshoots all of the sand, like flying up in slow motion, and that like creates this static web that flickers off of all of the surrounding space, including the wyvern and slate. Thankfully, your bee shawl does a little bit to shelter the worst of the blow, but you see the whole thing just, and its wings actually like go out as the like nervous system is overstimulated and the joints lock up.
That was awesome.
Very awesome.
All right. In response to your shout, Arcturus just says, "Be seeing you, darling."
Be seeing you.
There.
There it is. Yeah. Okay, you fit in just fine. There's Pierce. All right, so that's Anetka's awesome turn. Navarax, that is you, my friend, and then Slate to follow.
How far is the wyvern away from me?
It's within. So you have some reach, 15 feet. So the problem is you don't have a lot of space to stand here. But I'll be down.
Man, you're gonna go blind on the next pass without a trace.
Yeah.
You go around?
He doesn't have that much movement. But I'll say that you can reach it with your glaive and reaching over your buddies.
Just poking it. And you have advantage.
Yeah, I'm like stomping over all of you.
Yeah, you just literally just like step, and then.
In between the toes.
Okay.
So go ahead. You're gonna do a glaive attack.
Yes, I was going to do something a little different, but that works. Okay.
If you want to do something different, you can do something
No,
different.
I forgot about the advantage thing, so we'll do that. So I roll
Roll twice, pick the better.
Okay.
Roll.
Roll!
A 1 and a 7.
Hey, I was there.
7 plus 6, 13.
13 is the armor class.
Woo!
Big thing. So, as we discovered, not a lot of decks. So, all right, throw your dice.
All right. So
This D10 plus D6 plus D4 thing is crazy.
8, 3, 2. Re-rolling the 2.
Full time, that's right. Yeah.
Still 2.
8, 2, 3, 13 plus 3, 16 points of damage.
We're gonna get it on the next one.
All right. Still
And
standing, but it's
again,
limber.
as I like take the momentum of the hit, I come swinging around again, and
Bring it down, yeah. Easy target while it's all like static up.
this is without advantage.
Yeah, it's for one attack, so it's
Okay.
expired now.
Okay.
It's about to expire.
13.
13 is its armor class, that hits.
Okay.
Yeah,
Set up.
lit.
It'll be just the 10 and the 4.
Yeah, the D6 is once per round. Yeah,
Right.
that's correct.
I just making sure that the 4 keeps going.
It does, yes.
Yes.
All of your
All
it's your
weapons
weapon
have-
that's bigger, which is what you're accounting for.
3, 4, 7, 10 points of damage.
10 points. It is still standing, but it is on
Wow.
its last
Absolutely pop it.
claw.
Who's next?
Me.
Who's after him?
That's top round.
Top of the round.
Go for it. Do it. I don't know what you're thinking, but do it.
Almost certainly get it, but don't you have like the tail end of your blade you can hit it with or whatever?
Or what
That's a good point.
Bonus action. Because I think that's all it needs.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Using my bonus action for my
Maybe
pull
depending on
line.
what you roll.
Yeah.
Bonus action
Let's see
bop it.
how this goes.
Bonus-
It's bigger, so you still get the D4.
Wrist
yeah,
it.
If you hit
Bop
it.
it.
I'm just thinking the same exact
12.
thing.
Not enough.
Don't
Oh,
say it,
no,
don't
no,
say it,
just
don't
missed
say
it.
it.
Just missed it.
You should
unfortunately.
know. Yeah.
All right.
So this time you're trying to avoid your buddies here amidst all this. So you just like and pull up at the last second before you like brain slate with the butt end of your before you bop it
Oh,
through his
I'm-
skull.
All right,
I'm not
so
gonna get it 'cause I'm
that
not
that
down.
frustrates me, and I just kind of like roar like, really loud, and then action surge.
All right.
Oh.
Nice. That's great.
Let's go.
It's going. Attack roll for the next attack.
All right, I'm going to attack.
Do it. See it.
7 plus 6
Another
is
13 that hits.
Oh my gosh.
Does
Yes.
this, since it's the same turn, I can't use the
Yes,
6.
that's correct.
Okay, and 6, 4, 10, 13 points.
13 points. All right. It's still standing, but
No
you
way.
just
Dang.
carved it up. This thing is
It's
like
gone.
so all of its like tattoo Maori stitching situation. It seems to be becoming unraveled and has got this sort of like suspended blood particle effect around it as well.
Alright, I'm going to again
Hit
take
again,
the momentum,
again.
hit again.
4 strikes plus the
One.
Oh!
Can I use my inspiration on that?
You can?
Yeah.
Alright.
Normally you want to tell me, you want to say I'm going to use it before you tell me what the result is.
Oh,
so you know, but that's totally fine.
Okay.
Everyone knows one's a fail, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
it's-
not like it, yeah. Do it. Finish him.
Oh
No.
no.
Aw.
11.
You gotta put more oomph in the
poor
rolls.
This time it finally like regains its sort of motion from the static and sort of serpentine moves it out of the way and strikes sand. All right, very close though.
End of turn.
End of turn. Okay, Slate.
Slate.
I believe it's you. Yep.
So I'd be poisoned, though, with the...
You
what's
do be poisoned with the rot. It's not poison technically, so you're not poison affected. You are affected with Komodo rot.
That sounds bad.
Yeah.
Do I need to roll for a con? Take any damage?
Nope.
That's
You
even
just need to
scarier
go
than
to a
normal.
clinic, you know.
It
Yeah.
happens to everybody. It's fine.
You gotta get tested.
No, just sometimes you have a weekend.
Oh my god, I can't even roll this.
They've got penicillin for that. It's okay.
Hey!
Hey!
Alright, that's gonna be... So I'm attacking with just the longsword because
Yep.
I...
That's what you had.
That's gonna be 27 to hit.
Oh yeah.
That's
You
before the
doubled its armor class.
Actually-
I think that hits.
31.
Nice. Nice. I like it.
Okay. That's gonna be top roll, 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. What does your killing blow look like?
It's just a decapitation.
Yeah.
It's a long sword. There's nothing
Yeah.
special.
So the on the upward swing, you just carve through that like lacing tattoo blood effect that's got on the head of the creature, and it just goes like it goes just like spinning away, and it's like almost like a popping sound as the bloody effect goes away, and the body just and the head just into the sand.
Excellent.
Nice.
Alrighty. Anything else on your turn?
Yeah. Potentially. They're still way too far away, so I guess I'll just move towards the party at large.
Okay.
So like,
You're just gonna rearrange, getting closer to the other side of the wagon. Okay. Alrighty. So at this stage, that's the end of the round. And at this stage, this is round 5 in combat now. Arturius and his buddies are basically out of the combat now. At this stage, Arturius is going to focus down the summoned creature that you've got there.
Not
the
Butterbird.
All right.
Butterbird? That's the name?
So that is a 21 and a 17 to hit.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and both of those are going to be with Crimson Beak. So that's 2d6 plus 2d8. All of this plus 10. So that's going to be 7
Yeah?
plus 9, 26, 36 points of damage.
Yeah, it's gone.
So yeah, just like back to his hand, and then down it
I
goes.
feel the loss of Butterbird. My cholesterol drops by several points.
So at this point, it's clear that the Red Beaks are receding, having gotten what they came for, and not having to pay their other side of the contract, which is now deceased thanks to you guys. They are retreating. So all of this side is basically just like receding away. And as far away as you guys are, you're not able to really engage in a way. So I'm going to say they are going to be... I'll leave the bodies down. We actually lost one more guy.
Can I fire off firebolt? 120 feet.
120 feet. Where are you?
I was gonna dash over as far as I could to see if I could get any line of sight.
Well, your dash is going to be 60 feet.
And I have
And at
30
this stage,
feet.
they're already over here. I just didn't move them.
Okay.
And then they get another 60 feet of movement. So
Before I would be able to
before
act.
you get to go,
Oh,
they
jeez.
do the start of the round. So I basically set this up so that you didn't have to actually engage with these unless something went really bad on one side or the other. It was different if you had the surprise round taken away.
Okay.
But by turn 5, they get away free unless you interfered. And no one significantly interfered. So that's the situation.
Rest in peace.
The alternative is they turn around and fight you with all of this. So
I like our odds.
they are going to flee at this stage. And I would say, unless I don't see any reason why the party would be able to catch up to them at this stage with the gas secured and stuff. If you would like to try and pursue on your turn, that's fine. This is also probably going to be where we stop for the night because it's almost 9:30. So what I will say is the Stormscales don't take any further casualties and have mopped up the Dynasty. It looks like a few tried to take like a supplicating motion, and Erismira just straight through, not even bothering to try and talk and take hostages. Just took them all. So they're all down, and this side has been completely defeated. Without significant assistance, the Hestapha tribe just got totally overwhelmed and was defeated as well. These guys are fleeing, so we will go to like a non-combat possible chase if you guys do want to pick up and try and chase. I don't want to. I'll retract what I said before and say I'm not going to totally nix that. If you guys come up with something, we'll see how we go. But it'll be more in a chase, not combat kind of sense. So we'll see how we want to do that, and I'll look up some things on how we want to run that. Alternatively, just keep in mind one other thing as we shut down for the night. If you do chase after, Stormscales might stay behind and loot the whole thing. So just think about how you want to take that into account with your actions and stuff like that, because you feel pretty confident that they've fulfilled their side of like, we helped fight. We're not here for like a chase tracking mission situation now. So you guys can decide what you want to do. You don't have to decide right this second. We don't have much more playtime here to be able to resolve that. So for now, we're going to call it. But very well done, guys. Yeah. You did really solid. I loved all the role play and the narration and stuff with the combat. I know this was a longer one. It was a big combat. It helped that the bad guys weren't rolling well, but honestly, you guys played it smart. You came in with a good plan, and you crushed it. It really helped us. I loved seeing giant Navaraks who put in the work. So you guys all did really well, so nice job. And we'll pick up next time with you guys either following up on Arturius and the Vultures and the Gas, or which sounds like a bad band name, or exploring the ruins / seeing the disposition of the treasure with the Stormscale. So you guys can decide and think on what you want to take as far as that goes. But for now, we will call it